go ahead and leave it there for now, and we'll start the game. Anyway, also everyone say hello to the YouTube audience. Hello, YouTube. We're gonna get started now with episode 2. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know how I feel about that cam. I don't know how I feel about this boy. Hello, Vermelin. Oh, Very Melon. How's it going? Welcome. We're about to get started with episode 2 now, so... Okay. So, episode 2, this is the very beginning. It starts like most other kids with glasses, probably. I don't know what the first line was. Oh, he's going to school now. That's what it was. I think we probably just need to get used to this cam. Maybe. So we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it on for now. If I get like distracted by it or something, we'll switch back onto the other one, because I just have the other one more like in my mind. We'll get used to this one. If we don't, then fuck it. We'll change it. So Antosh or Anton or Tony is going to school. This is the first day of school for him. And he is worried that his glasses are too thick and that people are going to make fun of him and that he won't be able to make friends. So I think that's what we're taking off now. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Well, that's not a bad thing. What are you talking about, Preston? Thank you. How's it going, man? Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. Interesting. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days when everything was so simple and easy. All right. Hi, Preston. Bye, Preston. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anybody, especially the peacefully sleeping Olia. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between the floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry, faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Thank you. Ace Wii Sports, thank you so much for that, man. You don't have to, but it's appreciated. Thank you. Much appreciated. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. Hippity hop, like a frog jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was as good as of someone being led up to the scaffold towards a guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on 2 floorboards at the same time. Burned to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly, the fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock clicked. I needed to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. This darkness never fully left the houses around here. Hey, not sure how to pronounce your username. I'm gonna call you Shh. Hello, Shh. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're here to settle down and enjoy the episode 2 of Tiny Bunny. So let me know if you have any questions. If you have seen this game before, or if you only watched one episode, if you know all of it, if you know all the episodes, just all I ask is that if you have seen all the episodes, no spoilers, please. But other than that, relax, sit down, enjoy. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time this thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. You know what the funny thing is, Ace? This feels like a typical trying to leave in the morning in Newfoundland to go to school or to go to work during the winter time. It's like super dark, right? So it's very like, oh, that's a little too close to home. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. Is that a loon? It licked up stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. Ooh, what's that sound? Something's coming for you. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind whizzed on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life towards dubious adventures, and tagged along like an old buddy pushing me in the back. Wide shadows that pines throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin fire break, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse starlight. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of burial earth. Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest's depths. Then my parents would be walking around these parts, screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. That's the old lady that was in the documentary. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up in the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. Thank you so much for the follow. TX, shh. How about that? TX, shh. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger. As if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. Oof. See, this right here looks exactly like an actual, it looks almost like a wolf standing over him, but I don't know if they do this on purpose, trying to evoke these images in your head as you play. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. Eesh. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel. Who's there? The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidgen of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clawed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge is sport, bathed in a spring, tarry, and ice cold. Tarry, I've never heard that word before. It looks like a centipede rearing up. Yeah, and again, I think they do that on purpose just to make it more like they try to evoke this really like creepy sense without actually having anything there. It's quite masterful, actually. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road illuminated by sparse lamplights. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could, from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game where you need to be the first to proclaim, "I'm protected." That game, what game is that? Tag. Oh, interesting. A kid's game where one player needs to tag other players by touching them with their hand, making them it. In certain zones normally called the ghoul. The ghoul? I have never heard that. Players can stay safe from tagging. Cool. It's just in this case that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside its bounds. Oh, is that what it said? The goal? It said ghoul. Maybe it misspelled. Wait, does it say goal? No, it says ghoul. G-O-O-L. But I think it does. I think that's a mistake. I think they did mean to say goal. That's interesting. Yeah, if someone wants to look that up, I've never heard the word ghoul. So I do think it's goal. No, I think you were right. It's just misspelled. Oh, get a sip of water. Well, Swifty, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hopefully stay around and let's see what happens. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. In a place where the light from an incline lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. Ooh, I don't like that sound. It almost felt like its features deterred light. Its unnatural pose instilled fear. Oh, that sound. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear and even got closer. My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice. Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul? Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here, between the forest and the dormant village? Will you say something, dummy? A cat got your tongue? All right. I'll bite off your nose then. That'll teach you not to poke it in places it doesn't belong. Hey, bread rolls and gravy. Welcome to the stream. Second night. Hi, kiddo. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. But I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. The audio stopped? It stopped for a second. All right, there we go. Oh? From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask. It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my face.
А я
I was just...
просто в школу иду, а тут ты.
I was just going to school and then you...
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит.
Oh, interesting. Never seen a fox feed a dog? Oh, puppers. And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday, probably. Right, because those turn out to be dogs. Man, this kid's got one of the best imaginations ever, but goddamn, that betrays him sometimes. Yeah, I don't know about furries, although you're probably not wrong. Russian gushes, this game's so far good. Yeah, so far. But I keep getting disappointed with the switch that they do between the really creepy tension that it builds and then all of a sudden it releases into being nothing. I don't like that. I want a good payoff for this.
Извини, я не хотел.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess I still smelled bologna that I ate for breakfast. Oh, he must be a Newfoundlander, right? I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел.
So you didn't mean to, huh?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name? Why does she sound like that, though? It's
Меня,
weird.
Антон.
Anton. That's what it was. See? I know it was Antosh or Anton, one of those. Tony the Roshan has a bad habit of profiling. Well, in his own... And like, he creates the worst profiles ever.
А тебя?
And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. Okay. Thanks, I guess. She's weird. Definitely has a couple of loose screws. But she has a nice voice. No, she doesn't. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. The girl I didn't know was definitely human. The girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit of an eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was... The translation is funny. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. The next time a police officer asks me about my friends at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking fox.
Ты здесь живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. Meow. Oh wait, no. What do foxes say? What does a fox say? Make this weird screaming noise, right? Hold on. She spun around so hard, the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не живут в
Foxes
поселке.
don't live in villages.
Хочешь сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
Oh, so you live in the forest then?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно. Лисам среди людей не выжить.
Oh, she's taking this to the extreme. It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans. Man, maybe she is a furry.
Пока они лисы.
As long as they're foxes. Don't we have a furry command somewhere? I'm pretty sure someone can type that in. Like if you can redeem, you can probably redeem from the store and see if it's still there. I don't even know if it's gonna play actually, to be honest. Well, we can try it. We'll see. Hold on one second. We try. If someone wants to, or actually, Empty, you're pretty good at this because you're always on the ball for that stuff. If you want to go and look up the furry command, see if we can find it in the store. Okay, let's keep going. Her jokes were also weird, of course, because she's a furry. She thinks she's a fox. Just like her carnival mask, paper mache with fur glued onto it. A dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. Ugh, the crab stick. The fuck is a crab stick? Is that like a Russian thing? He called it a gift from the bunny. Why is bunny underscore? Treat from the bunny, the uneaten part of a business lunch or a treat specifically bought for children's. Parents would tell their children that a bunny asked them to deliver said treat, but it could also be any other animal, a squirrel or a bear, for example. There we go. I'm a furry. The stray strolled toward me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry. That dog has the most human eyes I've ever seen. Like, is it just me, or does that dog look like half human, half dog?
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
You're going to a costume party? Ooh, she did not like that. The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast. A real fox. Agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stump. I like how he calls it a calm... Okay, until I heard her calm, melodic laughter hidden underneath the beastly mask. I don't know that I would call that calm or melodic, but okay.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
I wish you could have seen your own mask, sweetie. So, did she say sweetie? I got embarrassed when read up to my hair roots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was gray and skinny. But this girl was of fiery color and furry, just like in fairy tales. I don't think they know this is a Russian game. I don't think they know the connotation of furry or the word itself in English. That's pretty funny, actually. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers, that were searching for the dog's treat, stumbled upon some soft, crumpled object.
Ничего,
You'll see.
скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
The real beasts will wake up soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где
You should
они
ask
взяли
them.
свои человеческие лица.
You should ask them where they got their human faces. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamp's light. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know.
Так ты в школу идешь?
So, are you going to school?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок.
Oh my, you're a real dummy.
Так ничего и не понял.
Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me. Welcome back. Calling me a dummy and all. I should just move along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
А ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать, и пожалуйста.
Don't answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
It's not like I care. Still, something froze me in place, tugged me toward the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn.
Ой, да не дуйся.
Oh, stop pouting.
лучше.
Look here.
Ты нравишься Жульке.
Sulka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of nearby houses, at its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light. See, this kid, he's driving me crazy. I don't know if this is part of his hallucination or if this is actually actively someone talking to him. She's talking about like the monsters with human faces and stuff like that too. So I have a feeling that this girl is like, has been bullied by other kids and that's who she's talking about. But it's still kind of like, I don't know, there's something still very off about her.
И не только ей.
And maybe someone else too. Oh, someone else took a liking to him. Well, would you make up your mind? Jesus. I went red again, like a boiled crayfish this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hope that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking,
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
and who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Very smart. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's windows. She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. It ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Oh, is that the other mitten? So, you guys remember that in the last episode, we found the mitten from what presumably is the boy who got lost in the woods. So, did Anton take the mitten to school or is that the other mitten? This kid is definitely a furry. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What's it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Oh, maybe mom stuffed it in there when I was asleep. A certain missing boy immediately came to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
Hey, do you know anything about Vova? I imagined the scene, silhouettes dancing in the clearing. We've seen that. On the night, the dance on the night when Vova had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remember my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olia to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console, visibly embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when mom and dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered their relationship. It wasn't... What's it? Let's change the mood for a second. Oh, it stopped. Never mind. Anyway, so the boy is blaming himself for breaking up their relationship with his parents, which is, it's a shame. It's really a shame because so many kids actually feel like that sometimes, when in reality it's got like nothing to do with them at all. If only I could fix everything, gather everybody I love and take them to Disneyland.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
Oof. There you go. Always good to have that. On the night Vova disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. The fox was sniffing me out.
А что?
Oh,
Когда испугался?
that got you worried?
За себя или кого-то еще?
For yourself or someone else? Olia. As soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened. The cold sweat streamed down my spine. Well, then listen closely, a boy named Anton.
Это большой и страшный лес.
This is a big and scary forest. The fox girl stepped forward menacingly.
И я не единственный его обитатель.
And I'm not its only tenant.
Другие звери уже знают о тебе.
The other beasts already know about you.
Берегись нас. Этой ночью мы опять придем.
Beware. We'll come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil in child form, I thought, panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь спать, подкрадемся близко-близко и станцуем.
When you and your parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak really close and dance.
Макарену!
Motherfucker. Macarin.
Чё?
Huh?
Эй, Макарена!
All right. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good own. That's all right. I can't even be mad at the game for that. the kids look.
У тебя прямо челюсть отвисла, Антоша!
Oh my god, the kids' eyes were like,
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна? Ага, как же!
he saw me near his window at night. You're right.
А ты случаем не местный дурачок?
Oh, are you by any chance a dimwit?
Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно.
Nobody would let me go outside that late. What's with the Christmas themed music all of a sudden? My god.
Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
Children go missing here, you know? I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты
Эй.
окуляры свои.
Why don't you stop fondling your glasses?
Я раньше тоже близорукой была.
I was also nearsighted once.
Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Лисичку как обычно называют?
Remember, what did they call foxes?
Плутовка?
Cunning? My words seemed to hurt her. Hey, what did you...
Ой, прости.
Oh, sorry. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver bells.
Да шучу я!
I'm just pulling your leg.
Конечно, плутовка.
Of course we're cunning.
Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться,
Ooh, that's good.
ведь помогу разыскать этого Вову.
Well, how does she know? If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a cunning fox, I'll help you look for your Vova.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь, да?
There's a reason why you're doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her inside was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес.
I know why children have been swarming our forest recently.
Порой там можно найти много всякого интересного.
Sometimes you can find a lot of interesting stuff here.
Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет.
One day I
Купалась
saw
в нем. Да так что челюсть слиплась.
a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaws cramped. A pile of candy? I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой
Boo,
недоверчивый.
so weary.
Ну-ну, а что ты на это скажешь?
Well, what will you say to this then? Ooh, she held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, sweets like these were sold at markets or in kiosks. We know what a kiosk is. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it too. Turbo. A triangular fox face poked her nose toward me.
Угощайся.
Go ahead, take some.
У меня их полные карманы.
My pockets are full of these. Oh, decision time. Do we want to take it or do we want to say no thank you? Oh, don't take it? Yeah, see, I don't think I should either. Don't do it, Tony. But Anton wants candy. Yeah, I think we're... Hey, listen, they always say don't take candy from strangers, but we've been talking to this girl for how long now? There may be a sword in one of them. A sword. I'll have to be a mighty tiny sword. Okay, so we just, like... So there's two things that can happen right now, okay? Two things that can happen. One, the last 2 minutes of the conversation where she becomes super friendly and it's all like nice and Christmassy and stuff, that could be all luring us into a false sense of security to get the candy. And then once we take it, bam, she's gonna go ahead and like some really disturbing stuff is gonna happen, right? For that very same reason, we have to take it. Isn't that sometimes a benefit? What is it? It's more interesting that way, maybe. Yeah, so all right, we're taking it, guys. We're taking it. We're gonna take candy from a not so strange stranger. All right, we're going. I accepted the treat. See, the music stopped too. I accepted the treat and catching a whiff of the girl's smell. Fur, fireworks, and citrus. The smell of holidays. My fingers tingled while I was carefully unwrapping the gum. Peachy aroma entered my nostrils, and something else, something unfamiliar but pleasant. The fruit cube ended up in my mouth. I started moving my molars, chewing the gum. It tasted like your usual Turkish gum, only my tongue went a bit numb. Oh, she just doused them. I couldn't believe my luck after opening the insert. Oh my god, he won a Mercedes-Benz. Or is that just the card? I looked at a Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned. This is...
Теперь понял, что можно найти в лесу.
Now, do you see what can be found in the forest?
Только на твоем месте я бы туда в одиночку не ходила.
Still, I wouldn't go there alone if I were you.
Тебе вон от жвачки в забу дыханье сперла.
You get so flustered over simple bubblegum after all. I am on a stream roll. Indeed, Stellar, indeed. I was just talking about you too. I was talking about about the Tony incident when we first got it. Oh.
А представляешь, что с тобой будет, если найдешь чемодан таких фантиков?
Imagine what would happen if you find a travel case worth of these.
Голову напрочь снесет.
It'll surely blow your mind. Unusual treats. Just like everything else about her. That's not good, man. That is not good. I carefully hid the insert in my bag as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can, and the fox giggled. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Doesn't he have to go to school? Like, we've been talking to this girl for how long? Who are you? I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway. Or she'll just lie. I really wanted to see what was behind the mask. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl.
Может, Вова тоже нашел сугроб сладостей и теперь кувыркается в нем?
What if Vova also found a snow pile with sweets and it's now rolling in it? Ooh. Oh, she did something to Vova for sure. Charlotte, welcome to the stream. Oh, that's a bot. Can someone ban the bot? Someone get him out, please, and thank you. Messi, if you can, I would appreciate it. Thanks. What if Vova also found a snow pile of sweets and is now rolling in it?
Слушай, вдруг он решил остаться в лесу?
Actually, what if he decided to stay in the forest?
Тогда, наверное, ему очень
It must be so cold
варежка.
without his second mitten then. What's up, baby art? It's okay. So far, We got chased by this girl in the forest after we started the second episode, and we have been talking to her ever since. He must be so cold without his second mitten then. The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. The trees behind me creaked with their bony branches.
Или
Or
что-то случилось в пути.
what if something happened to him along the way? And she knows something.
Что-то страшное.
Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, became alive. It sniffed me out, perking up its ears just like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Дикие звери?
Wild beasts?
Это, по-твоему, страшно?
Yeah. You find that scary?
Ну, не
Thanks, Messi.
знаю.
Well, I don't know.
Не знает.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Уж не с двоечником ли я подружилась?
Oh my. Have I befriended a dunce? Man, she's got so many different adjectives for the for the poor kid and just to call him an idiot. I didn't like being called a dunce, yet being friends with her sounded nice.
Я хорошист.
My grades are good.
Бел да пушист.
Really now.
Пойдешь со мной? Хорошист, Антон.
Will you come with me? Good grades, Anton.
Найдем твоего Вову и сам его спросишь, что он нашел в этой пуще.
We'll find your Vova and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest. Don't do it.
Пока мы вместе,
As long as you're with me,
тебя в лесу не тронет.
nothing can hurt you in the forest.
Вот увидишь.
You'll see. Worms of worry writhe in my belly. Better run, whispered my mind.
Я тебе не верю.
I don't believe you.
Ты думаешь, я врунья?
Do you take me for a liar?
Да и пожалуйста, мне никогда никто не верит.
Whatever, you're just like everybody else. The girl sounded hurt, although I didn't know if she was genuine about it. See, okay, boys and girls, because both of us will do this. There's this thing called emotional manipulation that you really don't want to give into. What she's doing right now is pretending to be hurt and manipulating Anton into going with her. And Anton, being a regular kid of his age, will probably fall for it. Don't give in to that. Ever. She turned around as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. The gum felt bitter now. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was kind to
Не
me.
обижайся, пожалуйста.
Please don't get mad.
Лисы бывают и добрыми.
Foxes can also be nice,
Ну, как в сказках.
like in fairy tales.
Мне бы только понять, что ты за лиса.
I just need to know what kind of fox you are. Very smart. Very smart. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands.
Тогда пойдем со мной в лес, и ты все обо мне узнаешь.
Then follow me into the forest and you'll get to know me.
Но не сейчас, а когда рассветит.
Oof.
А то тебя, бедного, всего аж потряхивает.
But not right now. When it gets bright. I mean, your whole body is shaking, you poor thing. You dunce.
Того и гляди, кондрашка хватит.
I don't want you to get a stroke.
Ай да, провожу тебя
Hey,
до школы.
let me accompany you to school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me.
Ну, если тебе по пути,
Well, if we're going in the same direction... We went towards the school and the lost dawn. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of gray smoke rose from chimneys. TVs bustled and dish clanged in kitchens. We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one as she took the right one. The dog was following right behind us. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me some game only she was privy to. All right, Ace, thank you for stopping by, man. Catch the rest of it later. Hopefully it'll be still interesting to you. Thank you for stopping by, though. Have a good night. She would only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was the first to break the silence.
Так как тебя зовут?
So what's your name?
Ну, конечно.
Here it comes.
Имена, имена, имена.
Names.
Людям непременно надо вешать ярлыки на все подряд.
You people always need to put labels on everything.
Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису, как я?
What name would you give a fox? Would you give to a fox like me?
Даже не знаю.
I don't know.
Но я читал про лису по имени Алиса.
But I've read about Alisa the fox.
А что?
You know what?
Я не против.
I don't mind.
Пусть будет Алиса.
I'll be Alisa. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dog, from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. The school's outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box stuck in the endless night. Lights in its windows don't bode well for me. The Wharton trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone whistling tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we just moved and the place looked cozy at that time. Empty corridors that smell of polished, puffy snow outside. The second time I came alone to get the books and just keep on imagining my peers rolling down the railings, grade schoolers running to the library, and teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance in track pants and wool caps perched on their foreheads. Smoking? Jesus. Man, Rush is hardcore. Their appearance destroyed the last of hopes for a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and the teeth, yellow from nicotine, their smirks, all of it had the same gloomy effect as a cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе.
I'll wait for you at the backyard after school.
Возле повешенного.
Near the hangman. Ooh. Random question, what's my favorite game? Depends. Let's ignore what we just read for a second. I would say my favorite series is Resident Evil. My favorite game, probably the first Resident Evil. And after that, it would probably just have to be Silent Hill. But those are the kind of games that when they come out, I actually make a point of schedule time off so that I can play them like the moment that I can get them in my hands. So, yeah. What's yours? What's your favorite game? Actually, even better, what's your favorite genre?
Возле кого?
Near what? She just ignored my question.
Не опаздывай.
Don't be late. I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again. Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between two. Mom always said that when I had trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about Mom helped me reply.
Я после школы сразу домой.
I'm going straight home after school.
Эх, Антоша, Антоша. Это я тебя так просто отпустила.
Well, Antosha, I'm gonna let you off the hook.
Другие же незаметно подкрадутся со своими улыбочками и вцепятся. Клещами не оторвешь.
But the others will creep up to you with their smiles and sink their teeth into you. Won't be able to shake them off easily.
Попомни мои слова.
Remember my words. Oh, Jesus. Did she literally just open that mouth? The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this?
Антоха!
Something or someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. Aw, dude. A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. It whimpered and ran toward the spring. Who was the asshole that did that? The darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I gulped and swallowed the gum. Unlucky. After taking a deep breath, I went towards the school, toward the cutlets in dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. Enter. What is this symbol? Oh, we have been missing stuff. We can look at stuff. There was a fresh-looking Volga parked nearby with one of its front wheels perched up on the icy curb. Black like soot. As if it was straight out of the horror story Dad loved to tell me when we hid in the attic during a thunderstorm. I remembered him always wearing a sad smile while mentioning the black car that snatched children. Ooh. What was the Project Winter drink sound? I don't remember. Oh yeah, the gulp. Yeah, okay. What was my favorite games are Minecraft and Phasmophobia. My favorite genre is probably horror. Phasmophobia is king, man. Phasmophobia is king. I can't help but notice the sound effect between games. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I don't think it's the same because I'm pretty sure all of our audio is custom on Project Winter. Like it was made for Project Winter. Now, obviously a gulp sound is going to sound like a gulp no matter who makes it or what it is. So, but yeah, you're not wrong. He would say it looks like a funeral car on the inside, white curtains and all. And it has DSC in its license plate. Do you know what that means? Death to Soviet children. Jesus, your dad would tell you this? Funny. I was born in the USSR too. What else can I look at? Oh, nest. Oof. Whose nest is this, I wonder? A thieving magpie? Then it probably has all sorts of shiny things in it. Pieces of colorful glass, bottle caps, polished coins, or child braces. Alright, we should... Do we want to know about this dude? It's not like they're pulling out the Wilhelm scream. Yeah, that's true. A tall man was standing near the gate, puffing out clouds of smoke into the wind. He didn't look like a teacher. Was he a PE guy, maybe? I carefully studied his face that looked like it was cut from a piece of granite and his hair lip that was holding down a cigarette. He was playing around with car keys and staring back at us. The light from the cigarette was reflected in his eyes that were sitting deep in his eye sockets. I froze in place. The hulking man lazily tore off his eyes from us and walked toward the road. And he gone. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Have a good stream and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Russian. Have a good night. Stay safe. I don't know if you're doing something or not, but whatever you're doing, have fun. Thank you. Alright, I think that's about all we can look at. We already did those two. Oh. A buzzing crowd of upperclassmen with their winter hats tipped to the side. I better not draw their attention. Alright, let's go in. Something wrong with the school, man. There's something wrong with this entire setup. I don't know what it is. I could hear muffled voices behind the doors. Saw blinking lamps. Darkness crept along the windows and it felt like the school was drifting in open space like a lonely, lost spaceship. After going up to the second floor, I noticed a crowd around the notice board. Everyone was taking part in a lively discussion. I moved closer and took a look at something everyone was interested in through a wall of backpacks. There was a piece of paper with something printed on it glued to the left of the notice board. Oh, that's Vova. Vova Matyukin. 10 years old, grade 4. He left his home on January 5th, around 1600 and never returned. Was last seen, child missing. Was last seen at the bridge over the Smorodina River. He was wearing an orange coat with a hood, a black wool cap, a scarf, and mittens with green stripes. Might have had a plastic toy gun on him. Features are 142 centimeters tall, skinny, brown hair, and green eyes. Please call these numbers if you have any information on Vova's whereabouts. That was his name, Vova Machuking, a 4th grader. On that grainy print, Vova looked dead, with black mouth and dark, empty eye sockets. Could it be that the darkness dwelling deep in the forest invaded his pores and mutilated his face? A plastic toy gun couldn't protect him from the whispering branches and the howling wind. Empty eyes of the lost boy pierced through my soul, as if pleading. Unable to meet his stare, I turned around and rushed to the window, took a seat on the windowsill. The corridor was slowly filling up with children in groups of few. Nobody paid me any mind. In the darkness of school toilets, child voices were hammering a nursery rhyme.
Для медведя, для лисы, зайчик кушать принеси.
I'm not singing. For the fox and the bear, bunny tasty meals prepare. I turned my head toward them, trying to get a better look at their features, but then my attention was stolen by a loud clicking sound. A female teacher marched down the corridor with her chin raised up high. Her heels were hitting the floor like miniature hooves. A girl was trailing her every step. She was also looking pompous, stopping along the way and whispering some secret in her friend's ear. She was probably a class rep, since she was carrying an attendance register book.
Екатерина, возьми, пожалуйста.
Ekaterina, take this, please. The teacher opened the classroom and the crowd of children swarmed in, screaming and pushing. Ugh, this poor kid. Out of all of them, a tall redhead fat boy caught my attention. His face was full of blisters. He looked like the inside of a pomegranate. A bad feeling risen up the hair on the back of my head. Sometimes the English is not very well translated and it kind of trips me up. I've seen boys like him before. Unsettled eyes, cackling laughter. The girl who was a smaller copy of the teacher warned the boy with a wave of her hand and entered the room through the clearing in the crowd. Some other guy stood in the way of the crowd and the redhead immediately shoved him. Move your legs, moron. Man, the boy flew head first, flailing his hands trying to keep his balance. The fatso burst out laughing and a couple of kids joined his nasty cackling. What an asshole. Their laughter sounded like someone was snipping with huge garden scissors. The classroom sucked all of the kids in. The corridor stood empty. I wanted to grow roots and stay on the windowsill. Just a handful of lampposts outside were battling the darkness, writhing like fluorescent fish in the black ocean. Man, why is he so obsessed with the forest? Like, I get it, he's scared, but man. Like, dude, chill. Maybe I can still run away. Go outside, dissolve in the dark. I imagine myself running through snow, how it squeaks under my boots, and how I'm becoming lighter and lighter with every step. The ringer strill bell that illusion away. The ringer strill blew that illusion away. I tore myself from the window with great effort. Then took a couple of deep breaths, trying to at least calm down my mad pulse, and entered the classroom. Is it like one classroom for all the kids? Like, it's a very small school, I assume. The prim teacher looked over me with the frame of her glasses, clearly annoyed.
Я новенький.
I'm the transfer student.
Мне вот сказали к вам
I was told to
подойти.
come here. The snowy forest trail was winding in front of my eyes. The pines rustled, but it didn't sound predatory anymore. She buried herself in the register and flicked through the pages.
А фамилия-то как?
What's your last name?
Петров.
Petrov.
Громче говори.
What are you mumbling there?
Чего мямлишь?
Say it clearly.
Петров.
Petrov.
Нет такого.
You're not on the list. She measured me with a long and heavy stare as if trying to see if I was lying. I wanted to sink through the floor. Hazy faces observed all of that from the left. The classroom breathed and snorted in unison, like a living organism, like a dangerous beast.
Ты не ошибся?
Are you sure?
Нет такого в списке.
I don't have you on my register. My knees chose the worst time to start shaking and I felt dizzy. I clutched my fists so hard, my knuckles became white.
Мне сказали, 204 кабинет, Лилия Павловна, 6 В.
They told me to come to classroom 204 to ask for Lilia Pavlovna, class 6C. Apparently everyone in the classroom took my words for some sort of joke because they were all laughing.
Что за бардак?
What's wrong with this school? The classroom fell silent. The kids hid their smirks for a better occasion. Oh, she is intimidating. She's scary.
Понаберут студентов.
Why do we hire so many interns?
Только знает, что губяки свои малевать. А я разгребай, значит.
Yikes. They all know how to put lipstick all over their bulging lips, but when it comes to real problems, I have to solve everything.
А бумаги-то кто заполнять будет? Не первый раз ведь уже.
How do they send you here without any proper paperwork? Ugh, we've had the same thing happen so many times
Подожди
already.
здесь. Сейчас.
Wait here, I'll be back.
Сейчас я им устрою.
After I have a little chat with them. Ooh. The teacher flew past me, mumbling something to herself in righteous anger, and I was left standing at the center of the classroom. Like a convict in front of a firing squad, I lower my gaze, feeling the mocking stares from all around the classroom directed at me. They prickle my skin, dance on it like laser sights. Interesting. Once again, I imagined running far away from this place, fighting the clawing wind, soaring high above the pines in one long jump, with the wind in my back as my only companion. The eyes of my future classmates were asking, this new boy, is he one of us or an outsider? Somebody whispered something and stifled laughter rolled through the classroom.
Доску вытри!
Wipe the board. It was easy to guess who was the main prankster here.
Эй, очкарик!
Hey, Four Eyes.
Ты чё, не только слепой, но еще и глухой?
Are you not only blind but also deaf?
Доску вытри, говорю!
I said wipe the board. My knees weren't the only shaking part of my body anymore. I was trembling from head to toe and I prayed for the teacher to come back sooner. My prayers were answered by the powers that be.
Ну что мне с тобой делать-то?
And what should I do with you now? Man, so much reading.
Куда сажать, а?
Well, will you sit?
Давай-ка сядь, наверное, с Семеном.
Oh, well, you can sit with Simon, I guess.
Он все равно один.
He's alone anyway.
Еще чего?
No way. Oh, that's the bad kid. Fatso put his backpack on the seat beside me in defiance, scratched his belly and smirked.
Ты опять за старое?
Are you back to your old tricks?
Снова бабушку в школу
Should I call your
вызывать?
grandma here again? The classroom went silent.
А чё она мне сделает?
You little shit. And what is she gonna do?
Не она, так я тебе сделаю.
I'll be the one to do something if she doesn't. Ooh, spicy.
Рюкзак убрал быстро.
Put away your backpack now. Simeon didn't move a muscle. Semyon didn't move a muscle. He started studying the portraits of writers on the wall, looking bored. I needed to do something to resolve this somehow to save myself.
Я...
I cleared my throat and continued in a stifled voice that sounded nothing like me.
Я могу за последнюю парту сесть.
I can see it in the last row.
Там, кажется, свободно.
I think there's a free seat. The teacher snorted loudly. She looked at me, then at Semyon, and then back at me.
Ладно,
Fine,
садись пока туда.
go there for now.
А с тобой, Бабурин, мы еще
And
поговорим.
you, Baburin, I'll have a talk with you later.
Чтобы подошел после урока.
Hey, Lucen, welcome. Welcome. How's it going, man? Come to me after classes.
Будешь по классу дежурить, ясно?
You'll be on cleaning duty. Got it? Oof. Semyon forced out a twisted smile. Juicy pimples were growing on the tip of his nose, ripe for the taking. No thanks. It's Harry and Draco's love child. Oh my god. Oh my god. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Oh my god. Oh, that is such a good analogy. He so looks like that. Oh my god, Pizza. Why did you have to say that? I'm not gonna be able to unsee that. Oh. Also, there's one weird thing about this. Neither he or his sister look anything like the parents. Like, at all. And there has been no indication that they're like adopted or anything. But the parents just do not look like, or the kids don't look like the parents, which is odd. And now that you say that, maybe it's because of that, because they're not the real parents. But holy shit, what a call. Thanks for that. I walk carefully, afraid to stumble and fall, causing another outburst of laughter from everyone. I took my seat at the back in the last table, where I was met with a pile of old posters. The outcasts took their seat and the class was ready to start.
Вот и хорошо. Начнем урок.
Now this is settled, let's start the class.
Тема. Традиции русской и мировой литературы в рассказе Зощенко «Не надо врать».
Today's theme is traditions of Russian and international literature in Sushenko's Don't Lie. Oh, what are you looking at? Fatso turned back to me. His stare informed me of the coming days, weeks, and months of bullying. Yo, I can only hope there's an actual, like, punishment for this little fucker. I've got my eyes on you, said his watery look. Man, that is not gonna be good. Ew, what is that? Oh. After just a couple of periods, I had already noticed a huge yellow spit stain on my notebook. Then at the cafeteria, this Semyon accidentally spilled a glass of compote on me. What's compote? A dessert drink brewed from a mix of dry fruit and berries. Ooh, that sounds delicious. And then he flailed his hands around after exiting the toilet so some of the liquid from his hands would get on me. Oh, I hate this kid. I hate this kid so much. Must really like his notebook. Oh, come on, dude. Just before the final period for today, Semyon pushed me into a buzzing crowd of girls from our class. Uh-oh. They may wait, cursing, but I couldn't hold my balance, ended up ramming my face into the girl I took for the class rep before, right in her chest. Awkward. Ow. I immediately stepped back, dying from embarrassment. You're getting bullied because you didn't get enough sleep. I mean, maybe. Yet again, bullies don't always need a reason. They're just bullies. Especially this one. He just seems like it's like a jerk.
Прости, ты в порядке?
I'm sorry. Are you alright? Then she suddenly put her hands on her hips.
Нет, ну вы посмотрите.
Will you look at him?
Облапал меня прямо у всех.
Groping me in front of everyone.
Я сейчас всё маме расскажу.
I'll tell my mom.
Тебя из школы выгонят.
They'll expel you, pervert. Oh, that is not a good start for this poor kid. Oh my god. Someone help this kid, please. There was some sort of sadistic pleasure in her eyes, as if she was a child who was about to put a lit-up match to the chafer beetle.
Я нечаянно. Меня толкнули.
I didn't mean to. He pushed me.
Все видели. Слепых среди нас нет.
Oh, we all saw that, you know. No blind among us. She stared at my glasses while showing me a creepy smile. Oh man, she's not nice either. I started to fume on the inside, but Semyon's laughter cooled my head.
Толкнули?
I pushed you.
Правда?
You sure? He swaggered up to me, enveloping me in the smell of sunflower seeds and rotten teeth, and then pushed me to the ground.
Вот так, да?
Like this?
И
Huh?
что ты сделаешь?
What you gonna do now? The bully towered over me as if saying, come on, hit me. Let me see you try. Oh. My nature says fight back. But when I do, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, I'm sure. Cause that's just how the story feels. I'm still gonna fight back, but we need to do something about this kid, man. Yeah, no, we're fighting.
Слушай, ты...
Listen, you. My throat went dry, my lips were moving on their own, and my voice was akin to a stifled squeal. Simeon wore a mocking smile.
Давай, продолжай.
Go on, Four Eyes.
Чё примолк-то?
Why'd you stop?
Нам всем
We're all
очень
waiting.
интересно.
Yeesh.
Если еще хоть раз меня тронешь...
If you ever touch me again... Simeon slowly stuck out a finger and poked my forehead.
Натронул.
I did.
Чё?
So what?
Еще хоть раз
If you ever do it again...
тронул.
God. Here.
А вот
Once
еще.
more.
И еще.
And again.
И еще.
And again.
И еще.
And again. He was poking me with his finger so hard that my head tilted backward. I must not cry, or I'll be done for.
Чё ты мне сделаешь,
What?
мямля?
What will a wimp like you do to me? My vision went blurry. My soul tore off from the floor. I rushed forward and threw a random punch without looking. Oh! Yes! What I saw when I opened my eyes was beautiful and horrifying at the same time. Simeon was holding his ear and blinking in amazement. Was I the first person to rebel against his absolute rule?
Stop it!
Anna!
I needed to run, but I was already surrounded by his cronies.
Лилия Павловна!
Lilia Pavlovna.
Лилия Павловна! Петров Бабурина ударил!
Petro just hit Baburin. Simeon's cheek grew even redder and his pimples even wider, like the heads of larvae. But a smile flashed on his face that was only noticed among his comrades. He got really close to me. The smell of rotten teeth washed over me.
Тебя,
You
пиздец.
are fucking done. You're getting bullied because he wants your little dragon. Would you stop? Just tell him that he has beautiful eyes. His voice was evil and dangerous, like someone tore off the lid from a kettle with boiling fat. I was waiting to get hit, counting the thumps of my heart and guessing where his fist would go. The solar plexus, the jaw, the nose. But he just turned around and walked off. What's up, Russian? Welcome back. A thought, cold and sober and extremely rational, popped into my head. I'm going to get killed today. I was late to leave the school after classes on purpose. Simeon didn't attend the last period, so I was hopeful. What if he decided to dodge the cleaning duty and ran home, forgetting all about me? I heaved a sigh of relief, like someone on death row whose execution was delayed by a day. But I didn't let myself forget his tone, his vengeful gaze, and his scary, electrified smirk. While the other students were leaving the school, laughing loudly, I was pretending to skim through my books near a window. I was staring outside, nervous. Simeon was nowhere to be found in the front yard or near the school gate. I didn't really believe I was this lucky, so I decided to be extra cautious and stayed for some more time in the corridor that was gradually getting less crowded. After all of the bustle moved to the first floor. There was a skeleton. What? There was a skeleton peeking out of the biology classroom. Some jokester put a cap with the American condor on its head. The sound of running water were coming from the bathroom. I was the only person left in the whole school. I am not alone. A sudden thought came to mind. I remembered the missing boy. His portrait was on the notice board near the schedule. Yo, that kid looks evil now. I remembered his smile, him looking at me, and the fact that he was most likely already dead.
Привет.
Hello? I shuddered and turned around. His eyes were most definitely not like that before. No. That was a very nice touch, but no. At first, my eyes stumbled upon the black violin case. Then I noticed a girl from my class was holding it. Is this gonna be the friendly face that he needs right now? She sat in the front row of the second column. I could swear I caught her looking at me a couple of times. And I was sneaking glances at her myself. Sometimes it just feels nice to look at something pretty. The spring, the sky, or a girl that's not in the crowd that laughs at Semyon's jokes. And she wasn't whispering the dirty laundry of other people to Katya. She spent all the breaks just like me, staying in the classroom or looking in the window or drawing something in her green notebook.
Здравствуй.
Hello. I turned red and pretended I was studying the pattern on the wooden floor.
Круто ты ему врезал.
It was cool. The way you hit him,
Это вышло случайно.
it was just an accident. Almost. I started shoving my books in my backpack to at least put something in my hands.
Вроде Семен раньше таким не был.
Semyon wasn't like that before.
Он к нам недавно перевелся.
He also transferred here just recently.
Бабушка мне его по секрету сказала, что он словно взбесился.
Oh? Interesting. His grandma told me that it almost felt like he went mad.
Семена даже старшеклассники побаиваются.
Even the
Представляешь?
upperclassmen fear Semyon, did you know?
А ты вот молодец.
But you're different. He's got the magic touch, Pizza. He's got all the magic in him. Fuck, I can't unsee that now. Oh, damn it. Ugh, you're different. AKA she wants to see. Yes, okay. This game is very interesting. Yeah, it's got some twists and turns that are just weird, but that's that little tidbit that just they talked about. I'm wondering, the woods have to have some sort of like influence on people, right? And depends on what happens on who goes there. That's like they can be influenced for the better or maybe be influenced for the worse, which is what seems to happen to Semyon. You're different. Or she wants to friend zone you. No in between. I have not been paying attention. I have been playing tabletop. No, that's all right. I was just when you came in and you said that. Now it's stuck in my mind. I can't change that now.
Не струсил.
You're brave.
Угу.
I mumbled in reply. Yeah, right. Me brave. A hero that has been standing around in the hallway to avoid a beating. The girl looked at me with her clear, attentive eyes.
А ты за рекой живешь?
Do you live over the river?
В том деревянном
In that
доме?
wooden house?
Ну да.
Yeah.
Там, наверное, страшно.
Must be scary living there. Why? No. It's starting to dwindle. Okay, well, go to sleep. You can catch the rest later if you're interested, okay? Get some rest. You kind of need it. Just go ahead and take off. Get some sleep. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Да еще через лес идти.
And you also have to cross the forest.
Я бы так не смогла.
I wouldn't be able to do that. But why? I shivered at the mention of the forest. I thought of intertwining branches of a snake-like trail of endless darkness that spread like mold among the crooked trees. So I straight up lied.
Да не так уж там и страшно.
It's not that scary. Right.
А что тебя так пугает?
What's so scary about it for you? She smiled after a brief pause, as if brushing off a daydream.
Да так.
Well,
Ничего.
actually, never mind.
Меня, кстати, Полина зовут.
My name is Polina, by the way.
А меня Антон.
And I'm Anton.
Ну, это я знаю.
I already know that.
Слушай.
Hey, Anton. She stumbled, as if trying to decide whether she should continue.
А что ты делаешь после школы?
What are you doing after school? My chest felt prickly after her innocent question, yet somehow it felt pleasant.
Ничего такого.
Nothing much. Don't you have a date with the fox girl? All right. Time for choice. Between fox girl and this girl, which one are we going with? I don't think there's much debate. The fox girl obviously had candy. Duh. Unless she's about to come up with like salty treats. Paulina's got the lower hand here. She's not gonna get me. Just saying. Although Paulina is way more normal. Nothing much. I stumbled and didn't finish my sentence. Oh? Uh-huh. Here's Fox Girl. I wonder if they're the same. Elisa's predatory smile flashed in front of my eyes. Her playful eyes and the slits of the mask were probably just a product of my imagination, though. What if that fox girl is waiting for me after school?
I'm a furry.
Yeah, Empty was doing that earlier. Is this a furry game? It seems that way. It's like a very, like, covered... It's like a furry game with a horror story laid on top of it. Or was it another of her weird jokes? I wonder if she's hiding a big red tail under her coat. I suddenly got covered with beads of sweat like after a PE class. I wanted to take a shower, as if just thinking of the foxy girl made me dirty, soiled my clothes, lured me into the forest's embrace. Man, this poor kid's got issues.
У меня сейчас занятие, скрипка, а потом я свободна.
I have a violin lesson and then I'll be free.
Дедушка мне репетитора нанял.
My grandpa hired me a private tutor.
Наш учитель музыки, он же скрипач.
Our music teacher.
Ему некому преподавать.
Our music teacher is a violinist and he doesn't have anyone to teach her except for me. She waved her free hand in the air, imitating the movement of a bow on violin strings. I could almost hear the music. It chased Elisa out of my head. Ooh, Elisa's not gonna be happy about that. I looked at Paulina's lips, catching her every word, and I was frozen from the unusual sensations. They were warm, soothing, and tingly. It felt like I was very small, and the feelings were immense, and they couldn't fit inside me.
Тут говорят, что у нас в поселке маньяк завелся.
There's so many euphemisms here. They say there's a serial killer on the loose in the village.
Раньше со школы меня всегда дедушка забирал, но в последнее время ему не здоровится.
Normally, Grandpa would escort me home from school, but he's been sick lately. I snuck a glance at Vova's photo. Yo, that kid's looking more and more evil every time they put that picture up. His eye wells were studying me. His lips were wearing black lipstick. Just like the portrait on a gravestone.
Ты не подумай,
Next.
я не трусишка, просто...
Next thing you know, he's like, cat's gonna be like no head and the boy's gonna have it in his mouth. Jesus, that's all I can think of now. I mean, I'm not a coward. It's just,
Просто мне кажется, что с тобой будет безопаснее.
I think I'll be safer together with you.
Антон, ты сможешь проводить меня до дома?
Will you go home with me, Anton? There it was. Finally, everything that I read about it in the adventure book, everything that I dreamed about was seeping into my life. A mysterious crime, a beautiful stranger, and a heroic duel. A duel. Thinking of Semyon instantly sobered me up, returned me back to earth, and it started shaking under my feet like a deck of a ship. If only I could rise to the occasion in front of Paulina. Because no matter how brave I was trying to act, it was obvious for both of us that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance against a big guy like that. I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, so was I. I don't know how I feel about that. That kid was getting a little too descriptive. and him knocking me out won't even be the worst of it. The worst part is that Paulina will see all of that, and she'll laugh at me like everybody else. Man, 5 minutes he's met this girl, he's already like way over the moon. This is actually quite normal for his age, I think. The poor kids starve for attention, man. Oh my god. No, I don't need anybody to see me in such a shameful state.
Сегодня вряд ли получится.
Oh, he said no. I doubt I'll be able today.
Ты же знаешь,
You know,
скорее всего,
Semyon is
проводит
waiting
наш
for me
первый дворик.
outside.
Лучше мне с ним разобраться лично, по-мужски.
I need to deal with him one-on-one, like a man.
Глупости какие.
Nonsense. Paulina brushed off some hair off her forehead, and I sensed a weak aroma of blackberry. Paulina was like water when you were thirsty. You gulp it down and still want it more. Good God! I remember the summer evening at the countryside, the fire's pungent smoke, the berries hanging over our fence from the neighbors, and a soft cover of pine needles under my soles. Those few peaceful days when I felt completely safe. My mom resting in the hammock, my dad putting meat on a skewer. Could have I foreseen the upcoming catastrophe in the crackle of the coals, in our parents' laughs, in the smell of the fleeting July? Could I have seen how fragile that world was?
Думаешь, этот дикарь будет честно драться?
Do you really think that Savage will give you a fair fight?
Со своими дружками набросятся всем скопом, опомниться даже не дадут.
He'll just swarm you with his friends without giving you a chance to catch breath. Paulina suddenly flashed a devious smile.
Но если мы пойдем вместе, это их ошарашит.
But if we go together, they will be put off.
Я же не только первая скрипка на деревне.
I'm
Я
not only
ведь
the
ещё и
first-
девочка.
I'm not only the first violin of this village, I'm also a girl.
Слышала от знакомого хулигана, что он никогда не нападает на кого-то в присутствии девушки.
Interesting. I heard from a delinquent I know that he'll never attack someone when there's a girl around. A delinquent. Take out for the delinquent. It's the first snow on Fridays. Do I ask the monkey if she wants to make a snow angel and have hot chocolate? Yeah, do it. Do it. I think she needs it. And I think you need it. So do it. She'll enjoy it. Just make sure you bundle her up nice.
Представляешь, у них кодекс чести такой.
Can you imagine they have this weird code of honor? A delinquent, you know? A delinquent, you know? I thought worried. Is he better than me? Taller? More handsome?
Ой, мне на музыку пора.
My God. Oh, I have to go to music class. She made a couple of steps and stopped. Amazing. Paulina didn't look like those beauties from the magazine posters or the actresses from the movies. But in the flickering light of the ceiling lamps, she looked much more alluring.
А ты играешь на чем-нибудь?
Can you play anything? My parents bought me a guitar a couple of years ago. I immediately remember my meager attempts at making music. Change. We're all waiting for change. So his song echoed in my thoughts and my desire to change something. That guitar got lost somewhere, as if refusing to move to the old house near the forest. I think my parents gave it away to someone that needed it more.
Увы, не играю.
I don't, sadly.
Жалко.
Oh, a pity.
Ну ладно, я
Oh well.
побежала.
I'll be going.
Пока!
Bye! Her shout was captured by the loud echo. Her shoes also echoed through the school hallways. Bye. I wasn't sure if Paulina heard me. I looked out the window again. The schoolyard was empty. Just a couple of grade schoolers throwing snowballs at each other. Nobody who looked like the hulking Semyon with his cronies. This was giving me hope. What should I do? Paulina could become my friend, the first one in this new place. And besides, she may be in real danger of meeting a killer, and I'll be here to defend her. And I'll be her defender, her knight. And even though my inner voice was hesitant and whispered about running away from the killers, lurking in the woods at night, Polina was worth the risk. But the red cunning fox was also intriguing. She promised me to help look for Vova, and this will bring me a reward. More money will almost guarantee peace in my family. Gifts for Olia. I imagine my sister happy like those girls who get prizes from Supovny in the finest hour. She'll be dancing with the famous singers, maybe a new popular boys band like Ivanushki International. Mom and dad hugging in the Ostankino Pavilion, and then all of us going to Disneyland. Kid, snap out of it, kid. Oh, we gotta make a decision. Oh, what do I want to do here? It feels like, okay, for real, it feels like Polina is probably the safest choice, but it's probably gonna be the saddest. If we stick with her, we're probably putting her in a lot of danger. On the other hand, if we go with Elisa, maybe I don't know. Turn me around and I'll tell you who's stupid. I bet something offensive is written on the other side. I wonder how long would Semyon keep turning it around if it fell into his hands. Nice. An abandoned sink bucket with a rag on the bottom of it filled to the brim with murky tap water. It reeked of salty chemicals and the stench was so intense that I felt sick. I staggered away from it, praying that I don't meet the same fate as the person who won't cleaning dirty. Oh, we're going with Polina, I think. Oh, but I also want to find Vova. Nah, Polina. Snow danced in the air outside the window, following the rhythm of the music that was flowing from around the corner. I jumped off the windowsill and started walking along the hallway, curiosity eating away at me. Half an hour I'd spent here watching crawled at snail's pace. I wanted to see Polina again. The music became louder. It streamed out of the half-open door at the far end of the corridor. My music taste was limited to Letov, Shevchuk, the timeless classics and pop songs I saw on TV, along with music videos that would sometimes be put on tapes and as teasers before a movie. But this violin melody captivated me. It felt like a master woodcutter working with delicate wood, a fragile crystal toy, a gust of warm wind. I pressed my cheek against the doorway. Polina was hiding from me in the far end of the classroom, but a shadow that fell on the wall definitely belonged to a girl with a violin. Yeesh. Show your TikTok? Hold on, I'll do it after. Alright, I'll do it after if you don't mind. Also, how safe for the stream is it? What's up, Rostry? Welcome back. The movements of her bow were so graceful that I felt like I was getting carried away on the waves of music. My heart broke the barrier of my ribcage and started hopping around. Faster and faster, it jumped on snow piles, gliding between the pines towards the fiery sun above the windfall.
Заскучал?
Oh, hello. Got tired of waiting? I was so deep in thought that I didn't hear her approaching steps. After bathing in music, Polina felt even more
Да
magical.
нет, нет.
Oh, no, not really.
Я
I
о комиксе своем думал.
was just thinking about my comic. For some unknown reason, I lied.
Ты комиксы рисуешь?
You draw comics?
Да, ну
Yeah, well, I mean,
планирую рисовать.
I want to draw one.
Ага. И
Oh.
про что твой комикс?
And what will it be about? About the most charming and kind girl that plays the violin who somehow happened to be in this house of horror. Okay, baby art.
Про лесу.
About a fox.
Ой, точнее, про
Oh,
говорящих
I mean,
животных, что живут в лесу и
about talking
помогают
animals.
заблудившимся детям вернуться домой.
Who help children who get lost to return home from the
А
woods.
потом они
And then they
пляшут в ночи.
dance in the night.
Ого, как
Wow.
интересно.
Sounds interesting.
Сам придумал?
Did you come up with it yourself? I lower my gaze.
Вдохновился, глядя в окно.
I got inspiration from looking out the window. And this kid is smooth, man. Smooth. We descended to the first floor. I opened the door in front of Paulina. Dad told me how essential it is to be a gentleman.
Значит,
Good man.
творческая личность.
So you're an artist, huh?
Я догадывалась, что ты не такой, как все.
I had a hunch you were different.
Особенный.
Special.
Шутишь? Я
Are you joking me?
самый обыкновенный.
I'm absolutely average.
Это Семен обыкновенный.
Semyon is the average one.
В смысле, обычный придурок.
An average idiot. Ba-doom-ps.
А в тебе живет нечто доброе.
And you carry something
пушистое.
kind and fluffy inside. Something barked near my leg when we were crossing the schoolyard, interrupting Paulina. Yo, that dog is back.
Не бойся, это Жулька.
Don't worry, it's just Shulka. I stood on one knee and rubbed the barking dog behind the ear. It was frantically wagging its tail like it was some sort of propeller. I looked around the yard trying to find Alisa, but the fox girl was nowhere to be found, neither in the yard nor on the road.
Брось ее!
Leave it be.
Ты что, она же дикая!
It's a stray, you know?
Клещей еще подцепишь.
What if he has pests?
Нет, у нее хозяйка
No, this one has an owner,
есть, вроде.
I think. Paulina looked at the playful dog with disgust, covering her mouth with a handkerchief.
А у тебя никакой еды не завалялось?
Do you have any food on you?
Кажется, что-то осталось.
I think I have something left.
Покормим и пойдем, ладно?
We'll feed it and go, alright? She took out a sandwich out of her bag, threw it to Shulka. The little dog rushed to her blanket, swept away the bread with her nose, and started eating the bologna.
Какая привереда.
What a picky eater.
Ешь все, давай.
Come on, eat everything. Paulina tugged my sleeve, egging me on.
Ты чего?
Hey, what's wrong? She replied with laughter. Oh no. Wait, did she lure him out? The violent girl had literally dragged me out of the school gates, stifling laughs into a fist. Oh shit. Did she set me up? I turned around. Shulka follows with sad eyes as we were leaving. The dog looked especially lonely with the school as the backdrop. Oh, okay, no, never mind. And then Paulina just stopped laughing. She walked alongside me with a blank stare, completely silent.
Нечего паразитов плодить.
Don't spread pests. Her remark turned out pretty harsh. Was it really the stray's fault she had to live in the street?
Они потом на людей кидают.
They always attack people later.
Прошлой зимой такая стая чуть дедушку не загрызла.
A pack of these almost killed my grandpa last winter. Yo, what is it that I hear all the time that in Russia apparently wild dogs are like a thing that is very dangerous? It's like so weird. Like we used to have strays in Mexico, but I wouldn't even call them wild. And I don't know that they were like very dangerous. They were just dogs.
Какой кошмар.
That's horrible.
Его парализовало.
He's paralyzed now.
Он больше никогда
He'll
не
never be
сможет
able to walk again. I remember the scary pack of dogs that was chasing me just a while ago.
Мне очень жаль.
I'm sorry.
Ничего.
That's okay. Paulina showed me another enchanting smile, her eyes half closed.
Главное, что мы друг друга поняли.
What matters is that we understand each other. I forgot all about Shulka after she said that. Some third graders were throwing snowballs at each other and singing,
Два. Прилети сова.
3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive. The owl? Oh, Olia. An image of my sister sitting near the window, bored, looking for me in the twilight, flashed before my eyes. I promised myself that I will go home as soon as I escort Polina.
А что это за песенку малые поют?
What's this song the kids are singing?
Уже второй раз за день ее слышу.
It's the second time I hear it today. We were walking down the main street. Somewhere near a tractor was grumbling, cleaning snowdrifts. Ravens flew across the ashen sky. A flock of black birds circled above us like scary crosses that ran away from graves.
Про сову?
The owl one?
Это считалочка местная.
It's just a local nursery rhyme.
Мне ее в детстве дедушка.
Grandpa used to sing it to me when I was little.
Он интересуется историей.
He's
тайг.
very knowledgeable
Много
about
знает
local
про наши
history and folklore.
И что там за считалочка такая?
And what does that rhyme sound like?
Слушай.
Listen. She started walking backwards, facing me and smiling.
Раз, два. Прилети, сова.
1, 2, time to play with you.
4, 5. Время поиграть.
3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive.
6, да 6. Дыбом волчья шерсть.
6, on end, the wolf's gray fur will stand.
7, 8. Бьем копытом озимь.
7, 8, stomp your hooves and wait.
Для медведя, для лисы.
For the fox and for the bear,
Зайчик кушать принеси.
bunny, tasty meals prepare. I thought that I already met a fox this morning. Thankfully, I hadn't met any wolves or bears. As I was looking at the girl by my side, I became strangely brave, so I said something unexpected.
У тебя красивый голос.
You have a beautiful voice. Polina adjusted her hair, slightly embarrassed.
Спасибо.
Thanks.
И что же, это конец
And
считалочки?
is that the end of the rhyme?
Принес им заяц покушать или
Did the
нет?
bunny prepare those meals?
Поди узнай.
Who knows?
Спросить не у кого.
Nobody will be able to
Считалочка
tell you
очень
now.
старая.
It's really old.
Древняя даже.
I'd even say ancient.
С ней легенда одна связана.
There's a legend related to it too.
Если тебе интересно.
Want me to tell you?
Конечно.
Of course.
Тут в тайге раньше племена жили.
All
разные.
sorts of tribes have lived in the taiga back in the day.
Дедушка говорит, у них была такая инициация. Короче, такой ритуал, когда мальчику наступала пора становиться мужчиной.
Grandpa told me they had this some sort of rite when a boy was ready to become a man. I listened closely. I mean, I was also really close to that age myself.
Юношу отводили в лес, и он должен был 3 ночи провести там охотясь.
They would lead him into the woods where he needed to spend 3 days hunting.
По легенде, один такой юноша ушел в тайгу,
There's a legend about a young man who went into the taiga and never returned.
а вернулся, когда его перестали искать.
And then suddenly he came back when they already stopped looking for him.
Нагрянул в деревню, исцарапанный.
He was
грязный,
covered in scratches, dirty and cold. Oof. I imagined sleeping among the pines and bare lairs.
Родные выбежали к нему.
His
А он упал на
family
землю.
rushed to help him, but he just fell unconscious.
Привели шамана.
They brought a shaman.
Тот осмотрел молодого охотника,
He looked at the young man and his face became grim.
сказал, плохи дела.
He told them that he was in bad shape.
До утра юноша бился в судорогах и повторял эту считалочку.
The young man convulsed until the morning, repeating that rhyme over and over
Снова и снова.
and over.
Раз, два, прилети, сова. То ему в тайге нашептали.
1, 2, time to play with you. As if taiga itself was whispering it to him.
А к рассвету он умер.
And when the sun came out, he died.
Только вот шаман сказал, что он и так был мертв, что он мертвым из лесу пришел и мертвыми губами шептал
Yikes. But the shaman said that he was already dead when he returned. He came out of the woods as a living corpse and whispered that rhyme with his dead lips. I froze in fear.
Это точно не ужастик.
Are you sure it's not some horror movie?
Фольклор бывает пострашнее всякого кино, уж поверь.
Folklore can be way scarier than movies, believe me.
Дедушка говорит, что племя то собралось спешно и ушло на юг.
Grandpa said that this tribe just uprooted in a hurry and left to the south.
Они были смелыми,
They must have been brave
если жили здесь.
if they lived here. Polina kicked one of the snow piles with her small boot.
Смелыми и глупыми.
Brave, but stupid.
Неужели надо мертвецу явиться из лесу, чтобы до людей дошло?
Did they need a corpse to appear from the forest for them to understand?
Дошло что?
Understand what?
Что нужно уезжать отсюда.
That they needed to get out of there.
Есть целый мир,
There's the big world,
а есть наш поселок.
and then there's our village,
Мир,
the world. She spread her arms wide.
поселок.
The village. She showed a distance that was almost invisible with her 2 fingers.
Я часто представляю большие города.
I often imagine big
Могу
cities.
часами рассматривать глобус.
I can look at the globe for
Или
hours.
журналы «Вокруг света» из библиотеки.
Or at Around the World magazines from the library.
Какие же там прекрасные названия.
They have such pretty names. Just listen.
Рейкьявик,
Reykjavik,
Тель-Авив.
Tel Aviv.
Это же чистейшая музыка, а не слова.
Music to my ears. She started circling, her eyes shut dreamingly. She started circling, her eyes shut dreamingly. The forest towered before us, touching the low clouds. The road fell into the semi-dark between the
Я бы
trees.
могла покорить сцену,
I could have conquered the stage,
выступать перед тысячами зрителей.
performing in front of
А я
thousands.
сцены ужасно боюсь.
And I have stage fright.
Так ты другим возьмешь.
Oh, you'll get
Живописью.
famous another way. By
У
drawing.
нас-то есть будущее. А что ждет того же Семена?
We both have a future, but what about, say, Semyon?
Ну, станет он еще толще.
He may just get fatter.
Ну,
And
Будет пирожками торговать.
he'll be selling piroshki.
ага.
Yeah, made from dogs. We burst out laughing, exercising worry from our minds with light-hearted fun. Man, they're
Если
making
ему,
fun of
конечно,
someone.
доверят пирожки.
If everybody will even trust him with selling them.
Наверное, ты права.
Oh, you're right.
Он их в один присест слопает.
He can probably eat a whole lot of them in one
Я
go.
так и думала, что вдвоем в лесу
Like
не
I thought,
страшно.
the forest is less scary when you're not alone. I looked around. The snow was sparkling, reflecting the last rays of the setting sun. My pulse fastened from the thought that we were alone.
Да, ты была права.
Yeah, you were right. Oh no. Something's gonna pop. Oh, something's gonna pop. Guarantee it. Something bad's gonna happen now. They got too comfortable and now they're happy, and now this is when happiness gets shattered. Polina rushed through the fire break.
Не отставай!
Don't fall behind.
Никогда в жизни.
I never fall behind.
Знаешь, ты так изъясняешься,
You know, the way you speak,
как персонаж из приключенческой книжки.
just like a hero from adventure books. Was she complimenting or mocking me? I didn't want to look for the hidden meaning. Not when we're in such a wonderful walk.
Ну да, я люблю книги.
I mean, I like books.
Ого, читающий
Oh,
мужчина.
oh, a well-read man.
Звучит интригующе.
Intriguing. A man. Really? I got embarrassed and my cheeks turned beet red, but I still thank fate for being able to wander around the forest with Polina like this. The girl suddenly stopped and stared silently into the darkening thicket, as if waiting for something. I felt uneasy all of a sudden, and then she asked me in a cold voice,
Ты был там?
"Have you been there?"
Где? В чаще?
Where? Deep in the woods? Polina burst out laughing again, shattering my anxious thoughts.
Да нет,
No, silly.
в большом мире.
In the big world,
В городах с
In
музыкальными
cities.
названиями.
with musical
А
names.
разве Москва музыкальное название?
Does Moscow sound musical to you?
Больше похоже на кваканье лягушки.
To me, it sounds like the croaking of a frog. To me, it sounds like the croaking of a frog.
Ты был
You've been
в Москве.
to Moscow?
Ну да,
Yeah,
в детстве.
when I was little. Polina's eyes started sparkling.
И какая она?
What is it like? Man, she's such a small town girl. It's so funny.
Ну, красивая.
Well, it's beautiful,
Шумная.
noisy,
Неоновая.
Neon lights everywhere.
Неоновая.
Neon lights. It felt like she was savoring those words.
А на Красной площади был?
Have you been to the Red Square?
Конечно.
Of course.
Она такая
It's
выпуклая.
so bumpy.
И в ЦУМе был, и на ВДНХ.
I've been to Tsum and Vonk too.
Мне больше всего метро
I
понравилось.
love the metro the
Там
most.
так пахнет.
It smelled like what? She ran up to me, grabbed me by the sleeve, and stared at my eyes with clear interest.
Не могу описать.
I can't describe it.
А нарисовать?
And can you draw it?
Что, запах?
What, a smell?
Великие музыканты могут
Great
сыграть
musicians can
запах.
play smells.
Не может быть.
You're lying.
Я дам тебе кассеты.
I'll give you the cassettes later. She started twirling in the falling snow again.
Я обязательно
I'll
побываю в
definitely go to Moscow.
А главное в Вене.
But first, to Vienna.
Вена моя мечта.
It's my dream.
Это же столица
The capital of
музыки.
music.
Моцарт, Бетховен, Штраус, филармонический оркестр, государственная опера. Я буду выступать, а ты рисовать.
I'll be performing and you drawing. Her enthusiasm spread to me. I wanted to do something right this
А ты
moment.
куда хочешь попасть?
And where do you want to go? I sighed and confessed.
В Диснейленд.
To Disneyland. I remembered the Finest Hour show again. Only I preferred Call of the Jungle, but I always spend my Mondays in front of the TV. Colorful tables with numbers on signs and charming Mr. Supanev at the wheel. And the prices. Chocolate eggs, video equipment, and the most exciting one, a trip to Disneyland for the winter. My parents promised to take me there to the land of the mouse, and I believed them at first. Well, maybe they also believed it back then. Now they just reply with silence every time I ask about it, and it saddens me to no end. I've just 3 words on my mind in those moments. But you promised. Paulina had seemingly read my mind.
Добраться туда проще, чем нам кажется.
Getting there is easier than we think.
Каждый лепит свою судьбу, как хочет.
Everybody has the power to mold their fate. She picked up 2 handfuls of snow, and then, as if she forgot about everything, showed me a sly
А
smile.
давай снеговика лепить.
Want to make a snowman?
Давай.
Sure. When I get back home, I'll make a snowman for Olia too. She'll be so happy. But for now, we were almost done with the first ball, rolling it shoulder to shoulder. Paulina was laughing. Locks of her hair fell on her lively face. She was so cute when she blew them away. Where did that snowball in the back came from?
Чего у тебя такой маленький шар, Антон?
Why is your ball so small, Anton?
Максимум голова снеговичка.
It'll only work as a head.
Больше надо.
Make it bigger.
Не ленись.
Don't be lazy. I couldn't remember the last time I had so much fun. Paulina swept her now crimson
Ты
lips.
мечтал когда-нибудь очутиться?
Did you ever wish to go to another planet? Something flashed in her eyes when she said that. I couldn't really put my finger on what it
Даже
was.
в другой вселенной.
To another universe even. Paulina sighed in what felt like relief.
Тогда ты понимаешь меня.
Then you should understand me. Her palms glided across the ball of snow, straightening up any bumps it had. An almost ideal white ball rose up in the middle of the clearing. Then another one popped up. We lifted it up from 2 sides and placed the one that served as a foundation. Finally, Paulina helped the 3rd ball to get on top of the other 2.
Ставить голову на место?
Getting the head to the right place is what I do best.
У тебя морковка случайно не
Do you by
завалилась?
any chance have a carrot?
Увы.
Alas, there was no fear, no worry at this clearing. I became more daring, ran toward the thicket to crack a couple of branches. I pulled at the intertwining windfall, but Paulina's voice suddenly awakened me from my delusions. Anton,
Там кто-то есть.
someone standing there. I turned around, puzzled. Paulina was looking at me. No, at something behind my back. She stared at it, her brows furrowed. Not a single trace was left of the cheerful atmosphere we had a moment ago.
Полин,
Paulina? She slowly raised her hand and pointed at the darkness that was approaching the trees in the distance.
Впереди кто-то стоит.
Someone standing there.
Темная сгорбленная фигура.
A
Видишь?
crooked silhouette, do you see?
И ручищами.
Rubbing the pine with their huge hands. I turned around, directing my eyes where she was pointing to. The area around the dry raspberry bushes was empty.
Там никого нет.
There's nothing there.
Оно спряталось.
It hid
За деревом.
behind a tree. The collar of my coat felt suffocating. I pulled on it instinctively. I felt a spasm in my stomach. I smiled weakly and asked, hoping for a good answer.
Это что,
Is this a prank? Paulina seemingly lost all her words. She just continued staring deep into the endless forest. Bravery check, I thought. So I stepped toward the glossy black trunk, Paulina's gaze pushing me in the back. I was trying to muster all my courage, but my inner voice was telling me to stop, to curl into a ball, to play dead even. Anything but to go in there, into the writhing darkness. The twilight was sucking me in, limiting my vision. The clearing was a deep well, its walls prohibiting the sunlight from reaching its bottom. I heard the air ring, or was it ringing in my ears? Uh-oh. One step. 2 steps. I bit my lip to stop myself from screaming if anything happened. There was nobody behind the pine. I sighed and turned back to Paulina. Oh, she's gone. Where'd she go? Oh my god, did they take her?
Полина, здесь никого.
Paulina, there's nobody. Oh?
Ну, здорово, Антошка.
Yo, Antoshka. From the darkness behind the pines, just like cavemen from their cave, appeared smirking Semyon with a bunch of his cronies.
Опачки, какая
And who do we have here?
Очкарик в жопе шарик на.
Check out this four-eyes freak, huh? Paulina let out a shriek when the bastards shoved her away from me. They surrounded me like carnivore's pride, making me step back. Oof. Oh no. The balls we rolled crumbled became a mushy mess, with just a single broken branch poking out. Paulina gasped angrily. I also felt a touch of scalding hatred. A smell of sweat and tobacco attacked my nostrils. The inside of my mouth felt salty, as if I had licked a battery.
Блин, не бойся.
Paulina, don't be scared. I shuddered after hearing my own voice. It sounded unnatural, rough, and scary.
Полинка-то чё бояться?
Why would she be scared?
Лучше за себя
Worry about
беспокойся.
yourself. The fatso spit through the gap in his teeth and pushed me so hard that I hit my back against the tree.
Ну как?
Well,
Страшно, муди.
pissed your pants, sucker? I heard Paulina's angry voice from behind.
Не трогайте его!
Stay away from him. It would have been better if Paulina wasn't around. I wish she wouldn't see me in such a shameful position.
Глядите-ка, пацаны!
Look at this, guys.
Девчонка за него заступается!
A girl is defending him.
Ага.
Yeah, what a
Циклона.
fucking wimp.
Ты, сука,
You fuck with the
приезжая.
wrong guy,
Не на того
transfer
руку
student.
поднял.
Oof. Semyon was moving toward me, readying his fist. In that moment, the other delinquent in track pants made a loud whistle, and the hulking boy lowered his hand. It was unexpected. Seems like Baburing wasn't the leader of this gang. In reality, they were all listening to the boy who was looking like a small carnivore with very strong and sharp teeth. They decided against hitting me. They probably wanted to humiliate me in front of the girl first. Damn it.
Слышь, Гондон Батькович,
Oh, come on.
а это кто?
Who's that? Another of your girlfriends?
Да у тебя тут гарем, на.
He has a fucking harem, huh? Oh, the dog. Only then I noticed Shulka beside my legs trembling from the cold snow plaster all over its fur. What's up, Ranged? It probably ran all the way from the schoolyard searching for our smell. The delinquent squatted in front of the dog and beckoned it with his hand.
Ой ты, батюшки.
Oh my.
Ко мне,
Come here,
сучка
you fly-ridden
блохастая.
bitch. The others let out nasty laughs. The dog's ears perked up and she started carefully moving closer.
Иди сюда.
Yeah, come
Иди,
here.
иди, дам кое-чего.
I got something for you. Oh man, come on. The dog didn't even have a chance to sniff him when his animal abuser caught it by the ear and kicked it right under the tail so hard it flew into the nearest snow pile, squealing. The whole gang burst out laughing and my heart got encrusted in ice. Even the birds that were perched up on tree branches let out frightening caws. Oh no. Wait, what? Then I noticed something strange. Paulina could hardly keep herself from smiling. Does she really hate dogs so much that what this skinny guy did amused her? After locking eyes with me, she changed her jubilant smirk to a thoughtful grimace. Why isn't she running away? I thought in horror. At the edge of my vision, I saw something flash in the illusory twilight of the sleeping forest. Or were that just bushes moving their icy branches in the wind?
Ромка, она ж больше срать не сможет.
Romka won't be able to shit after this. I have a feeling Fox Girl's coming.
Давайте
Let me
я.
kick the fucking thing one more time.
Второй раз ебану, минус на минус даст плюс.
2 negatives will make a positive. But the stray was already nowhere to be seen.
Чего ты,
What?
баран?
Are you an idiot?
Втолкуй его на очкарику, где его место.
Go and show the Four Eyes his place.
Только так, чтобы он понял.
In a way he'll understand.
Ага. Да не
Yeah, he
понятно.
fucking owes you.
Этот очкарик тебе при всем
This
классе
wimp
всё.
whack you in front of the whole class.
Да без Б.
Sure thing. Simeon brought a sizable signet ring with some geometric shape carved in it up to my face.
Ща, парашник,
In
я
a
тебе
moment,
этой печаткой
I'll hit
так
your face
зарешу.
so hard,
Клеймо на всю
I'll leave a
жизнь
mark for the rest of
останется.
your life. Where did all my inner strength and bravery go?
Стой!
Stop! A wheezy whisper left my lips and my head tilted forward, hitting Simeon's fist. Red sparks flew from my eyes. They're going to gang up on me and beat me up. Ah!
Рома! Пусть они прекратят!
Roma, tell them to stop.
Прости, но пацанам надо по-мужски побазарить.
Sorry, but the boys need to sort this out man to man.
А тебе в сторонке постоять.
And you just stand aside and watch.
Яша!
Yasha,
подсоби.
give me a hand. Simeon gave me a rough push towards the bastard with the slanting eyes and he tripped me. I fell on the sharp crust of the ice and Fatso stepped on my hand, preventing me from getting up. Oh man, where's Fox Girl when you need her? Ah. A painful groan escaped my throat.
Слыхали, как заныл?
Did you hear him whimper?
А ты случаем не педик?
I started to lose breath from anger and resentment. The pain was growing. My ears was hot and pulsating pain was shooting through it like it was cut off and a ball of nettle was sawn in its place.
Че молчишь, Антошка?
Why so silent, Antoshka?
Отвечай, ты педик?
Come on, tell us. At this moment, I felt pure, unbridled rage, the amalgamation of my anger. Like the sprout's ink, it rose up from the depths of my mind, filling all my thoughts.
Твари!
Morons!
Знаете,
Did you know that my
что
dad...
это педик?
Oh, come on. Simeon burst out laughing. This became the last straw. Fear and anger were grappling inside me like mad
Он
dogs.
айкидо занимался.
He
Поняли?
knows Aikido, you got it?
Он еще воевал.
And he's a vet.
Таких, как вы, с
And he'll
закрытыми
kill the likes of
глазами
you with his
убивает.
eyes closed.
Я только слово скажу, он...
One word from me and he'll... Rumka lifted up his arms, stopping my torrent of lies and made a couple of steps forward. Simeon slowly backed off, giving me an opportunity to stand up. Pines were swaying back and forth like solemn guardians. Did he believe me? Or was he confused by my face, twisted with rage?
Воевал, говоришь?
A vet, you say?
Мой батя тоже воевал.
My dad also fought in the war.
В Афгане.
In Afghan.
А твой?
Yours?
И мой.
Mine too.
Да, и в каких войсках,
Oh,
интересно?
really? What force did he serve in? I stumbled. Fear chomped at my raged throat and made it bleed.
Да он фуфло гонит,
He's full of
Ромка.
shit, Romka.
Бля, будуна.
Sure as fuck.
Думал, меня так просто развести?
Do you think I'm so easy to trick?
Я тебя, сучонка,
I can see
насквозь
through
вижу.
all your lies. There was a nasty smile on his face now. This didn't bode well for me.
Ты сам себе приговор
Well-
подписал.
You've asked for this.
В школе тебя училка спасла. Ну а теперь все.
A teacher saved you at school, but here,
Хана
you're
тебе.
screwed.
Во-во.
That's right.
Давай, Антошка.
Pray
Молись,
that they
чтобы
find
твой
your
труп
dead
по
body
весне
come
нашли.
spring, eh?
Сидел бы ниже травы, был бы целочка.
If only you stayed silent, wouldn't have lost a hair.
Жирного стукнул, одно дело.
Hitting fatso is one thing.
Сёма, ушатай-ка его.
Give him a good pounding, Suma. The delinquents closed in on me again, and I ended up in front of Semyon. Blood was pumping in my temples.
Ну, Ромочка, ну хватит.
Roma, please stop them.
Ты уже все доказал.
You prove your point.
Дай нам уйти.
Let us go.
Ты иди, иди.
You can go anytime,
А мы пока мусор.
and we'll
приберем.
take out the trash in the meantime. What bugged me at that moment wasn't even the humiliating attitude from Romka, but rather low sweet Polina had addressed him. But rather how Polina had addressed him. The delinquents were pushing the girl toward the pines. Branches were swaying back and forth as if whispering something, giving me hope. I gritted my teeth, fighting the thought that I looked silly, and took a boxing stance I often saw in the movies.
Хера ты, Майк Тайсон.
What are you, Mike Tyson? This was my first fight ever. I remember it for the rest of my life. If I don't kick the bucket, of course. At the edge of my vision, I noticed the darkness writhe again as if something was walking back and forth there. I sensed Roma's claws grabbing my backpack.
Манатки, Антошка.
Give me your shit, Antoshka.
Махаться мешает.
It'll get in the way. I was about to refuse, unwilling to cooperate with the bastard, but then he fished a butterfly knife out of his pocket with one smooth motion, spun it as if showing off, and put the blade to my neck.
Слышь, фраер, расслабься.
I let out a
больно
cloud of
будет.
steam instead of words. Romka pulled with all his might, and my backpack ended up in his hands. Pulling a shriek. Monkas. Monka. Monka. Romka winked at her as if saying, "Don't worry, I got this." Calm and relax. An insidious smile on his face, he looked on into my
Ты
backpack.
от нас что-то скрываешь, да?
Are you hiding something from us?
У меня в
Some
школе
rat
какая-то
stole
крыса
my
сменку
school
подрезала.
shoes.
Опачки.
Oh, what's this? Romka gave me a dubious smile. Man, what an ass.
Так, а что это у нас здесь?
So, what do we have here? My texts and notebooks fell in the snow. He was holding my backpack in one hand and something weird in the other. It looked like... Interesting. A mask. Roma lifted it high as if showing to someone else, to someone in the treetops in the twilight among the trees. An old bunny mask. Long, worn out ears, barely visible nose and whiskers, mangy fur on its sides. Where did it come from? Who put it there? Semyon laughed.
Новый год уже прошел, мудила.
Way past New Year's, moron.
Или ты реально поехавший?
Or are you really a loony?
Это не мое.
It's not mine.
Да как не твое,
How come it's not? It's in your backpack. Romka was watching the scene unfold with an evil smile on his face.
Дикари! Масок раньше не видели!
Savages, is this the first time you see a mask?
Таких конченых не видели.
As shitty as this? Yeah.
А знаешь что?
You know what?
Надевай.
Put it on.
Зачем?
Why?
Надевай, говорю.
Because I'm telling you to.
Попрыгаешь перед нами.
You'll hop like a
Зайчик.
bunny for us.
Давай, давай!
Yeah, come on.
Или без штанов домой пойдешь на?
Or we'll leave you pantless, huh? Not when Polina is here.
Не надену.
I won't.
Сёма,
Sioma, put it
надень-ка
on
на
him.
него.
Biasha rushed to his friend's side and took the worn-out mask from him with a buffoonish bow. Then he passed it to Semyon, who was already rubbing his hands in anticipation. I looked around the pine woods, as if waiting for help, as if the shadows that writhed around us would take pity on me and take my side. Branches looked like arms twisted in unusual angles. A mask, kinky. Yeah, this game is already putting a lot of strain on the whole furry thing, so not really sure how that's gonna go after. But it does seem like, I have a feeling the mask is gonna give him some sort of like power almost. We'll see. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and the darkness was the smoke they produced. I can't run. I won't get away. They'll catch me. Sleepy's a great storyteller, confirmed. What do you mean what? What are you asking what about? No, I won't run. I won't abandon Polina.
Только учти, Сёма,
Let me warn you, Sioma.
если он скакать
If
не
we won't
станет,
hop,
ты сам за него
you'll take his
поскачешь.
place. Got it?
Этот чмошник и не станет.
This piece of shit won't.
Да погляди на него,
Just look
он
at
же
him. He's a
дурик
total loony.
конченый.
Этот дурик тебе уже раз в жбан
Yeah,
зарядил.
this loony already smacked you in the face.
Ромка прав.
Rumka's right.
Давай, толстый.
Come on, Fatso.
Устанавливай авторитетно.
Assert your fucking dominance.
Или сам у нас запрыгаешь так, что
Or we'll make you
Тетяна
hop so hard
отцепится.
your pigtails will fall off. He must indeed be scared of Rumka. Semyon soared silently and glared first at me, then at Polina.
Вот.
Here.
Это чтобы
It'll
маска
fit better this
хорошо
way. Ugh. Ugh. Blech. He hurled a huge ball of spit on the inside of the plastic bunny face and put it close to mine. His spit looked like a squashed spider. Rumka's face twisted. He spasmed like a beast, like he wanted to tell Semyon something, but then he suddenly stopped. Polina covered her face with her hands in terror. Semyon was still close by, with a disgusting smirk on his face and a terrible smell coming from his mouth.
Надевай, быра!
Put it on fast,
Отурою.
or you're dead. The mask almost looked even more disgusting now, yet despite everything, I felt like it was a chance for salvation. Called it. Well, not yet, but I'm like 99% sure. He puts the mask on and something happens. This is all about like the animals, and something's gotta happen when he does it. It could become my second skin. If only I was to put it on. If only my face was to touch its bumpy surface. I'm sure the fur will glitter, the ears will tremble like they're alive. I just need to put it on, and Semyon and his friends will be gone. Forever. Oh, I want to put it on. Oh. So I can put it on or tell him to fuck off. Okay, if I tell him to fuck off, I really want to know what happens when I put the mask on. But it feels like I'm giving in, which I don't want to do. Just on principle. Oh. All right. Well, screw it. Let's agree to put it on. Let's see what happens. Ah. All right, give me a second. Hold on. Let me think about this, cuz okay, so one of two things can happen. Well, a couple of things can happen. You put it on, and the effect that I'm hoping it causes won't be there. Like, I'll just put on the mask and something else will happen, and then they'll just let him be. If I tell him to fuck off, chances are I still end up with the mask on, but the rage that I feel after they force me to do that could trigger the effect that I want the mask to have. So I'm a little torn. We'll put it on. We're gonna put it on. Ugh. I reached out. My hand wasn't shaking anymore. Option 3, change game. Negative. We're not changing this. We're too far into this episode to change it now. Semyon handed me the mask and let out an evil laugh. The fur felt warm to the touch, just like I expected. I got goosebumps. Electricity flowed through my spine.
Вот оно,
This is it.
мое спасение.
My salvation. A voice whispered to me from the well of my subconscious, just put it on and nobody will hurt you. The forest froze, gazing at me with cracks in the bark. I acted slowly. Took off my glasses. Got rid of the nasty spit on the paper mache. There was movement inside of the bunny face, as if something was trying to break out. And I needed to help it. I lifted off the mask and started moving it towards my flaming cheeks. Just like that movie with Jim Carrey. This mask had power. This mask had strength. Cartoon touched my skin. It enveloped my skull. My nose took the shape of my face. It smelled like an animal lair and pine. My lips touched some sort of hard, wavy material. My armor. Strangely enough, through the slits of the old carnival mask, I was able to see as good as through my glasses. A trio of boys frozen in the clearing. Snowflakes frozen in the air. The trees whose shadows formed black streams towards me. And a weird silhouette in the early twilight behind the windfall. In all that silence, Semyon nervously whispered, "Hey guys, what's up with them?" I broadened my shoulders. My muscles felt like they were made of steel. Invisible plumes of fog flew toward me, breaking off the trees. I was absorbing the forest's power with every pore in my body. I smiled underneath the mask. No, I showed my teeth. My fists were itching. My stomach was growling.
Он превращается!
He's turning. You asked for this. I made a step forward. Semyon carefully stepped towards me as if he was walking on thin ice. A trail from my dreams snaked in front of me again. Endless, alluring, it was beckoning me away from all the problems to the new wonderful world, the world of magic Neverland. I pulled on the zipper, opened my coat, and threw it into the snow with a fast motion. Then growled. I felt like something was frantically looking for the exit underneath my skin. I went towards Semyon.
Он превращается!
He's turning.
Твою мать!
Fuck.
Превращается!
Turning.
Конченого мудака!
Oh, there. Oh, come on. The clearing blew up in hysteric laughter. Yasha was clutching his stomach. Roma smirked, shaking his head. And Semyon, who was laughing the most out of the three, spat on his knuckles and waved his fist like a club. I love how powerful they make you feel, only to take all of that away in 1 second. That is such a masterful way to write. Whew. Chef's kiss. And Semyon, who was laughing the most out of the three, spat on his knuckles and waved his fist like a club. You're such a moron, Tosha. A fist collided with my mask. The fur didn't dampen the blow at all. There was no power, no magic smoke coming from the pines. I flew towards the bushes and landed on my butt. To my horror, Paulina, pale in the face, stood behind the back of the jeering trio. She looked at me with a mix of surprise and bewilderment, and maybe even disappointment. What else did I expect? That I will turn into a superhero and save her after putting on a piece of old carton on my stupid face? My vision, bolstered by adrenaline a moment before, returned to normal. Polina's nervous face became blurry again.
Вот это был номер.
Now that was something.
Думал, он на четвереньки встанет и сгрызет нас всех,
I thought he'd get on all fours and tear us to bits.
как морковку.
Like a carrot.
Не, ну вы
Yo,
видели,
did you see that?
видели?
Did you?
Это считается, что он попрыгал.
Does this count as him hopping?
Это даже лучше.
This was even better. I sobbed. The mask had one advantage. If I cried now, nobody would see my tears.
Ну и дурик.
What a loony.
Да тебя в
You
психбольницу
belong in a
не
loony
ставят.
house.
Психбольница для животных.
For animals. Semyon put his knee to the snow pile and ripped the glasses out of my numb fingers.
Верни ему!
Give it back.
Верни, гад!
Give it back, you idiot.
Отдай очки.
Give my glasses back.
Я домой не дойду.
I won't make it home.
Чё ж,
Bullshit.
знаешь, какой у зайцев
Haven't you
клюв?
heard that bunnies have good sense of smell? Monkey's having the best time, sorry, Mrs. It's alright, you can watch it later, and that's important. I'm glad she is.
По
Make sure you
запаху
take pictures.
доберёшься, не ссы.
So don't worry, just use it.
Прыг-скок,
Hippity hop,
прыг-скок.
hippity hop. Semyon shoved the trophy into his pocket and flashed me a toothy grin.
Кролики очки не
Besides,
носят.
bunnies don't wear glasses.
А теперь вали отсюда,
Now
Дауни.
scram. I stood up, still wobbly. The trees became a blurry dark wall. 4 bright silhouettes were wobbling around me. There were black spots on them, their eyes, sockets, and mouths, but it looked to me like there was more of them than it should be.
Полина!
Polina! I felt around aimlessly. One of the figures was about to rush toward me, but was stopped by another.
Ты не переживай, ушастый.
Don't worry, big ears.
Мы Полину сами проводим.
We'll escort Polina
обиду не дадим.
ourselves. She'll be in safe
А
hands.
то тут психов по лесу шляется,
know.
мама не горюй. Да, Полин?
There are a lot of shady types snooping around here and all. Right, Polina? She didn't reply. She just stepped backwards towards the bushes. I was overflowing with despair. I turned to the forest. Semyon's boot came to my rescue, kicking me in the butt and quickening my shameful retreat.
Прыг-скок, прыг-скок.
I threw the mask into a ravine out of spite, and then zigzagged through the fire break along in a giant snow-laden world. The trunks around me bent in all directions, their treetops disappeared into the darkness above me. The sky was pushing me down. I wanted to cry, but my eyes were completely dry by now. Only sadness and longing were left, a desire to bury myself under the snow or leave for the Neverland, joining Vova and Senia. I didn't care where to go, just somewhere far away from here. Somewhere very far away. Oh, he made it home.
Так, я
Hey.
не поняла.
What's
Антон.
this?
А где очки? Потерял?
Where are your glasses, Anton? Did you lose them?
Да, ну, мам,
See,
И как можно быть таким рассеянным? Ты думаешь, я деньги печатаю?
Wow. How can you be so careless? Do you think I own a money printing press?
Как же? Будешь до
Yeah,
следующего
right.
года в старых очках
You'll be
ходить.
wearing your old glasses until next year. Olia rushed to me.
А я лису видела!
I saw a fox. Surprise akin to a shotgun blast. I could only flap my lips and reply. A cup shattered into many little pieces with a loud thing. My mom let it fall from her hands. Her face was pale and her eyes were glued to the ground. This pause, just a split second, felt like an eternity. Then my mom spoke with disappointment. First it was an owl, now it's a fox. Will you ever get tired of this?
Правда, правда!
But it's true.
Такая пушистая!
She was so fluffy.
Она у забора стояла на задних лапах, совсем как человек.
She stood on her back legs near the hedge, just like a person.
Она меня позвала, а
The fox called my name, but then Mom came and she fled. There was no fox. Stop making this up.
Не подходи к ней.
Don't go near her. If it was necessary, I was ready to shake my sister as if she was a doll made of cloth.
Ты чего, Тоша?
What's wrong, Tosha?
Не подходи, слышишь?
Don't go, you hear me? Mom entered the hallway and gave me a surprised look. I hesitated.
Ну, лиса ведь укусить может.
Well, a fox will bite you. I remember fairy tales where foxes used to kidnap children. I imagine Elisa liberated, carnivorous, running through the night forest with a dangling sack in her
Это ж
hands.
была не настоящая лиса.
It wasn't a real fox.
Расскажи ему, Оль.
Tell him, Olia.
Она на 2 ногах ходила, а еще была в платье одета.
She stood on 2 legs and she wore a dress.
Только она была взаправду.
And she was real.
Видишь?
See? Mom showed us a tired smile as if it was the only explanation needed. I also forced myself to smile. My smile was like a thin piece of soap right before it dissolves completely on your palm. But when I was left alone with my sister, I whispered,
Еще раз увидишь ее, беги.
if you see her again, run. And there she goes. I shut my eyes and threw the vitamins in my mouth, washed them down with water. Please stop driving me mad, please. I was doing my homework on a Friday evening like usual. I had already finished the hard part. There was only my art homework left. My favorite subject. Draw. I kind of want to, but not really. Alright, draw. I needed to draw some sort of magic beast. Oh, he's drawing the dinosaur for his sister. Uh-oh. I wanted to draw a dino at first, but my brush reached toward the orange paint all by itself. Uh-oh. That's a fox. One stroke after another, the picture of a fox started slowly forming on a piece of paper. She was almost popping out of the snow-white sheet. She stood on her back legs and wore a sly smile. My brush moved again, drawing a fluffy tail. A moment later, it dropped out of my weak hand. After I finished my drawing, I spent a while studying it in surprise, as if I couldn't understand where this red beast came from. The longer I looked, the scarier her smile felt. Carnivorous, fake, like the smiles of women from adult magazines that were sold in press kiosks back in the city. An alluring smile that masked deep-seated malice. And the fox's eyes turned out red, as if bloodshot. They look more like bullet holes you see in action movies. I don't remember drawing them this way. I moved away from the table and the lamp's light reflected from the wet paint. The drawing was glossy. It felt like the fox was watching me. Waiting.
Ты что,
Oh,
оглох?
Jesus. Are you deaf?
Я задумался.
I was just thinking.
Тебя спрашиваю, ты сестру не видел?
I'll ask you again, have you seen your sister?
Опять она где-то прячется.
She's hiding somewhere again. Something moved under my bed and I froze. Olia's dirty face peeked out with a finger pressed to her lips.
Оля, я тебя
Оля,
вижу.
I can see you.
Вылезай, ты же в пыли.
Get out of there, you're covered in dust. Olia crawled from under the bed and started dusting off her stockings, looking down.
Пойдем, Оль.
Let's go.
Я тебе сказку почитаю.
I'll read you a fairy tale.
Посижу с тобой, пока не уснешь.
Keep you company until you fall asleep.
Я с вами спать хочу. Не
I
в
want
той
to sleep with
комнате.
you, not in that room.
Там.
It's... Mom entered the room.
Что, опять сова?
What, the owl again?
А кто ж еще?
And what do you think?
Оль, она не придет больше.
Olia, it won't come
Я
anymore.
ее прогнал.
I chased it away. Olia shook her head in defiance.
Не прогнал.
You didn't.
Она придет.
And it will come.
Она сказала, что будет
It said that
каждую
it'll
ночь
come
приходить.
every night.
О, так она у тебя говорящая?
Oh, it talks now. Olia ignored the question and then asked with newfound determination.
Можно я с вами посплю?
Can I sleep with you?
Можно?
Please?
В самый последний раз.
This will be the last time.
А пусть у меня ложится.
Why don't let her sleep in my room? I thought it was a great idea, but Olia shook her head again.
Нет, у тебя не хочу.
No,
Оно
I
на
don't want
тебя
your room.
смотрит.
It watches you too. I felt goosebumps all over my body.
Хватит.
Enough.
Нет никакой совы.
There's no
Ты
owl.
сегодня спишь у себя, ясно?
You're sleeping in your own room tonight. Got it?
Ну, пожалуйста, мам.
Mom, please.
Пожалуйста.
Please. Mom took Olia's hands and tried to lead her out of my room.
Не
Let's go,
мешай.
sweetie. Don't bother your brother. Olia clutched the bed's head with her free hand.
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
Please, please, please.
Не хочу.
I don't want to go to it. Mom was tugging Olia towards herself, but she didn't budge. Only the bed's head squeaked in agony. Dad intervened by picking Olia up and carrying her out of the room, despite her desperate protests and pleas.
Не надо. Не надо к ней.
Don't take me out. Don't take me to it. It's going to watch me again.
Пожалуйста. Ну, папочка, ну скажи ей, ну,
I've listened to them struggling to make my little sister go to bed for a while.
Мама, папа, последний обещаю, честно.
In the end, my parents gave up and let Olia sleep with them.
Пожалуйста, мама.
But it was surely the last time. Ever. When everybody settled down, I was lying in my room thinking about Olia's words. It's watching you too. I felt uncomfortable. I barely managed to calm down only after closing the curtains and my room shut. But as soon as I closed my eyes, memories of my day started jumping around in front of me. Oof, that's no good. A poor kid, man. I was in the middle of the stuffy school corridors. 1 second. I could see the literature classroom from here, the faces of dead classical writers on the portraits, the prim and regal pose of our homeroom teacher, Lilia Pavlovna. And around the corner was her daughter Katya, a snitch and a gossip eagerly waiting for me.
Эй, новенький.
Hey, transfer student.
Чего тебе, Кать?
What do you want, Katya? She got on her tiptoes and started swaying while hiding her hands behind her back and then asked me with a fake smile on her face. Can I ask you something? Why did you get transferred here? I might have told the truth about this to Polina, but Katya will sell it on the market for 3 kopeckas. It will be the same as printing all my thoughts and hanging them near Vova's picture for everyone to see. So I reverted to an answer I knew by heart.
Это все из-за моих родителей.
It's all because of my
У
parents.
папы тут новая
Dad has a new
работа.
job here,
А
and
мама...
my mom. But Katya didn't even listen to me, just rushed over the perked up ears of her friends, whispered something while stealing glances at me and giggling.
Да, конечно, конечно.
Yeah, right.
Он нас тут совсем за дурачков держит.
He takes all of us for fools.
Я вот слыхала, что это все из-за его отца.
I heard it's all because of his
Он
father.
недавно кому-то крутому дорогу перешел, и теперь они всей своей семьей
Oh,
в нашем
someone...
захолустье скрываются.
Who was it that made the prediction yesterday? They said that this was probably some issue with the KGB, like way back when. He crossed the road of some big shot and now their family is hiding in a remote little village.
Неправда! Ты все врешь!
You're lying. That's not true.
А слышали?
And
Слышали,
did you
как ему
hear?
Бабурин всыпал?
Did you hear how Baburin beat him up?
А этот лишь ручки опустил. Да
And all he could do was look all
потупил.
pathetic and take it.
Прекрати! Ты знаешь,
Stop
он
it.
не один был!
You know he wasn't alone.
И будто этого мало.
And if that wasn't enough,
Ходит
there are
слух,
rumors that this
что
weirdo
этот
carries a
жулик
bunny mask
повсюду
with him
таскает
wherever
с
he
собой
goes.
Заячью маску.
These are disturbing images.
Ой, девочки, ну кто же в своем уме будет
Who in
такое
their right
делать?
minds would do something like that, huh, girls?
Ясно, понятно. Со странностями
наша
I
дочь.
see, I see. Our Antoshka must be truly special.
Может, слабоумный?
Maybe he's an autist, but what if
Маньяк?
he's a serial killer?
Если в его портфеле
I'm sure you'll be able to find an axe in his
Там и
backpack if you
такое
look hard
описать
enough.
можно. А может, что это?
Or something even worse.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Замолчи! Заткнись!
Shut up.
Ха-ха, вон как раскричался-то, будто ужаленный.
Look at him scream as if something bit him.
А зрачки-то?
His pupils, look at
Зрачки
why
такие
they are.
широкие. Опять чего доброго с катушек слетит и руки распускать начнет.
I hope he won't go insane and resort to violence again.
Не зря же его мать таблетками пичкает.
I mean, there must be a reason his mom always feeds him those pills, right? Ooh, the pills. Told ya. I just stood there in confusion, trying in vain to understand how she found out about my medicine. And what scared me even more was the possibility that her nonsense had some truth mixed in.
Да-да,
Yeah, that's right.
он такой же ненормальный, как
He's
и
as
его
insane
сестрица.
as his little sister.
Представляете, к этой сумасшедшей дурочке
Can you
каждую
imagine?
ночь прилетает сова ростом с человека.
That she says a human-sized owl visits her every night,
Только что-то ее никто из
but
здоровых
not a
не видел.
single healthy person has seen it.
А этот наивный простак ей верит.
And this simpleton believes her.
Нет, ну
Can you
вы
imagine?
представляете?
And then I caught a single kind look from the smirking crowd.
Как же так, Антон?
How can it be, Anton?
Неужели действительно тебе
Are
не
you
здоровится?
really unwell?
Полина, послушай меня!
Paulina, please listen to me.
Как же?
Yeah, right.
Не слушай этого болтуна, Полиночка.
Don't listen to this liar, Polinoshka.
Свистит он, что в Москве бывал, как пить дать.
He's probably never even been to Moscow.
Это ничтожество даже постоять за себя не может.
This loser can't even stand up for himself.
А при случае и за тебя не заступится.
He won't be able to defend you if it comes to it.
Бросит, думая, как бы только самому по шее не схлопотать.
He'll run away to protect his own skin.
Слабак.
Weakling. Paulina slouched as if someone kicked her in the stomach and then burst out in tears and fell to the dirty floor, wailing and screaming. No, no. Why? I couldn't understand her reaction, but I still rushed to Paulina's side before getting shot violently by Katya.
Убери от нее свои лапы,
Get your
чудовище!
paws off her, you monster. Rage was building up under the veil of my fear. It slowly rose from the cloudy mist. I felt my upper lip lift. I felt my upper lip lift creep up, showing my
То, что
teeth.
твой отец бьет мать, еще не дает тебе права поднимать руку на девушку.
Oh, the fact that your father beats your mother doesn't give you the right to do the same to girls. My fists became hammers. I couldn't unclench them. Nobody can speak about my family like that. I came to my senses when I already lunged at the angry Katya.
Слетел-таки!
He went nuts. Help.
Помогите! Петров с катушек слетел!
Petrov went completely insane. At the same moment, the crowd around her became louder. It started whistling and roaring and growing. The subtle silhouettes of my schoolmates became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling, turned into giant black forests chock full of toothy faces. I shrank to a tiny ball of fur and started shaking in fear before the might of ulcer-ridden trunks that belonged to either trees or humans. It was impossible to tell.
Вот ты и показал свое животное нутро.
So you've finally shown your animal nature.
Трус!
Coward. Katya's face was twisted with jubilation and ecstasy. Anton, why? No. Why did you do this to me? Polina screamed while choking on her tears. He is just an animal, an outsider. A scary flapping of wings came from the forest. A pair of giant white ears descended somewhere from above, and I dug myself into them. Please, wake up. I jumped up, almost falling out of bed. Apparently, I was thrashing around for hours on the sweat-soaked sheets. Olia's scream pulled me out, set me free from the tentacles of fear. So I've been tuning in and out. So what's special about the mask? Does it actually transform you to an animal or something? No, I mean, he put it on and they do this really cool trick where the story makes it seem like you're about to actually gain some sort of like superpower, and then they rip that away from you completely in a single line. And then all of a sudden the mask doesn't do anything. It's just a mask, but nobody knows where the mask came from because it was in his backpack, but he obviously didn't put it there. I have a feeling Alisa, the fox girl, put it in there for some reason, and he is supposed to put it on. And eventually it will do something. It's got some sort of effect on him. But now it's going more into the area of where he is mentally. So I don't know whether the mask has something to do directly with his mental state or not. I have a feeling it does though. Anton, please wake up. It took my eyes a while to focus on the silhouette near the window. Olia's voice was distant. My head was still ringing after the fight. Sounds got distorted as if my ears were stuffed with cotton. My sister, as distressed as ever, just kept on repeating the same phrase. The owl, please, I'm scared. Her tears poured on my heart like boiling water. But I was almost thankful for the owl's appearance. Otherwise, this scared Olia wouldn't have woken me up.
Оля, я сейчас.
Wait a second, Olia.
Хочешь, я тебе Мурзилку
Want me to read
почитаю?
Murzika for you? Murzilka for you?
Подожди.
Oh, what's Murzilka? A Soviet and Russian monthly illustrated magazine for kids. This has been published since 1924. The magazine uses an unidentified yellow creature wearing a scarf and a red beret and its mascot. As its mascot, writers like Samuel Marshak and Agnia Bartok contributed to the magazine early in their careers. Interesting. I placed my bare heels on the cold floor, felt around for my glasses, and remembered Semyon, his underhanded act, and sighed. Anton, please, look. She couldn't tear her eyes off the window as if it was a staring contest. I found the light switch with my hand. The lamp poured bright light all over me. I got up. My vision fooled me, moving the window closer only to push it further away the next moment. My sister was just a blurry spot. I took a hesitant step forward. Oli,
Что там?
what's there?
Что-то случилось?
What happened?
Ты хочешь, чтобы я открыл шторы?
Do you want me to open the curtains? Okay, so shit, the sound actually is coming from this side. And the figure is on that side. So, I don't think that's Olia on the window. The owl is there. The voice was coming from behind. Oh, see? I turned around and froze from terror. Teary-eyed Olia stood in the doorway. Who? Who were you talking to right now? She stared at me with eyes that were red from crying, with her hands wrapped around her shoulders. Her voice was nervous, as if she was afraid to hear my answer.
Я разговаривал с тобой.
I was talking to you, to someone pretending to be you. Whew. The ledge outside my window creaked ominously as if something huge was sitting on top of it. And the thing that pretended to be Oli started spreading, changing shape, grow to scary heights under the light of a carnivorous moon. Anton? Please. Come closer. Come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. I pinched myself as hard as I could, hoping that the silhouette near the window was just a continuation of my nightmare, a hallucination brought upon by the cursed house. And those don't bite, do they? The silhouette was towering before me under the veil of mist. I heard Olia's shrill scream when someone had knocked on the window. It came to get us. Another knock. I stepped back into the middle of the room, as if there existed nooks where I could hide from this horror. The sound was sharp and metallic. The lamp started shimmering, then it suddenly lighted the hole and went out. Like a candle under a strong wind, the filament inside it snapped with a ringing sound. Oh shit! The darkness that was waiting for that exact moment poured from all the angles and enveloped me. There was only this window left in the whole universe. Moonlight poured through it, painting everything the color of bones that were exhumed from a crypt. Olia started squealing and pressed herself into my back, seeking protection. And then an eye burning with a carnivorous fire stared at us from the window. Knock, 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 knock. No, it wasn't trying to break the window, it was toying with us. It just kept on knocking, driving us mad. As if a giant clock was measuring the time left for us, its pendulum swinging above the abyss. Hey Akbu, how's it going, man? She was screaming in desperation, her hands clutching my arm like a pair of pincers. Come closer. I could barely make out a pair of wings that spread out above the black spot. Tell her, Anton. Tell it that I won't be a bad girl anymore. Never ever. I just wanted to leave. Please. The moonlight suddenly disappeared and the room descended into darkness. We couldn't see the burning eye anymore. I swallowed the stingy lump that was stuck in my throat, stepped over the curtains, entranced by the call of this disfigured guest. Olia was standing behind me, mumbling, "I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good." The bleak window was creeping closer, curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look my fear in the eye. At the moment, I heard noise coming from our parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled a curtain to the side in one swing. Nothing. Though, there was something shining on the ledge among the scattered feathers. My glasses. The ones that Semyon took from me. How did they get here? Was that a gift from the gurgling night? Did that owl really bring them here? I looked at the front yard, at the foreboding clearing, at the toothy forest. Not a soul, not a trace of our late night guest. Only the old lamppost dreaming like a lone watchman among the snowy desert. The dry window frame creaked. I tore away the insulating tape and the stripes of glued newspaper. Opened the window with big trouble. Frost pinned me with its little needles. The paintings on my walls moved from the draft. I touched my glasses. Surely they would melt in my hands. But they were real. My brain was scrambling for an explanation. Semyon and his gang just pulled a prank on me. That was it. That's it. A smooth white blanket was glittering under the street lamp just outside our yard. If anybody was to get close to the house, to climb the pipe to the ledge of my window, they would surely leave footprints. But there were none. I cautiously took my glasses. My wrist was still intact. Nobody pulled me into the darkness, full of restless writhing.
Вы почему не спите?
Why aren't you in bed? I swayed from surprise and almost fell out the window.
Совсем сдурели?
Are you out of your mind?
Жарко, что ли?
Did it feel hot in here?
Не болели давно?
Did you want to catch a cold?
Там сова была. Тоша ее прогнал.
The owl was here. Tosha chased it away.
А ну-ка марш спать к себе в
Go to your
комнату.
room immediately and get in your bed.
А с тобой?
And you. Mom paused, directing her seething eyes at me. She was thinking of a punishment equivalent to my crime. In the end, she just waved her hand, took Olia by the shoulder, and left, throwing gloomy words my way.
Завтра поговорим.
We'll talk tomorrow. Yo, that was intense. Since I just got here, I'm gonna go and probably rewatch this later. See, okay, Agbu. Have a good night, man. Good beat for the window when it was knocking. Yeah, no kidding. I managed to get the frame back in place with a couple of hits, pressed in the latches with all the strength my fingers could muster. The cold left the room, but the fear was still present. I placed my glasses on my nose and stared, studying my reflection on the window. It didn't look like a face, more like a death mask, just like the one worn by the boy from the notice board. That night, I was on the edge of joining him there. Ooh, he's going to school again, eh? A black and white face was staring at me through the clearing between student heads. Oh, shit! And it wasn't Voba. His face was right beside it. I recognized the fat cheeks, the damaged skin. Semyon. Baburin's photo was printed out and placed under the glass like an exhibition piece. Shoot. Oh, they did leave it in a cliffhanger. Oh no, this is what I did not want. Thank you for completing episode 2. We are deeply grateful for everyone who purchased the game in early access. All the profits will go towards further development of the game. Oh, that is not the cliffhanger I wanted. Oh my god. There is so much to this. Oh. All right, so oh my god. I don't know how I feel about it. What's this? Oh, look, the fox, the owl, and now the bunny are here. Oh, okay. Explains the glasses. Yeah, absolutely it does. But I have so many questions though. Oh my god, I have so many questions. Obviously all of them are gonna have to end up being theories now, and I don't even know, like someone said yesterday that the game's not coming out again until like 2023, which I find unbelievable if it's true. But I can't imagine that that's it. They have to come up with something else in between. I'm almost certain of that. But so the way I see it and what I think is going to be part of it. So Anton is actually I want to say a psychopath. And his meds are regulating his disease, right? And so just like maybe like there's other kids out there who have the same problem as him, but they're not medicated. And that's what they are now. They're like slowly using masks to cover their identity and commit crimes. So that's why the girl in the fox mask, quote unquote mask, that's why she approached him and almost like trying to help him in a way. So I think Anton is just gonna end up going towards that road as the game progresses, as the story progresses, right? And so there's like all these people that are the people that are disappearing are actually people who have wronged others or those psychopaths at one point or another, and that's why they disappear. They get killed basically by them, right? But That's just kind of like that's the theory that makes the most sense to me. But I don't see Anton as a bad character, so I think in part his illness is going to be made to be righteous almost in a way. I don't know. I'm super torn on this. I like the story and I like where it's going. I think sometimes it takes a little bit too long to tell itself, but nonetheless, that's a pretty good setup of a story. Oh, I'm kind of torn about it right now. I was like, obviously I want more, but I don't know where they could take it. And I hope they don't mess it up. I hope it's satisfying at least. Anyway, it's gonna be a long one, and we're gonna be waiting for a little while, but I'll try to find out when the next episode is coming out, I guess. It should be a really interesting one to actually tackle afterwards. So that's it. I guess that's it for Tiny Bunny. We can finally put it to rest until the next episode comes out and then move on to something else. I have a plan for the next game that I want to do on stream. It's called Bloodwash. It's by a company called Puppet Combo, I think. It's just a group of developers that do this like very indie looking games, but Bloodwash is actually the latest one that they came out with, and apparently it's really good. It's really like campy and cheesy. It's like 80s horror. So I'm super excited to play that, but we gotta wait until we hear a Mariah Carey song, singing Christmas songs, because that's the only way that I'll stream now to rebel against the Christmas spirit.